and welcome to another episode of the Anime Lounge podcast. I am your host, Lance, here with my other host, Matt. And today we have a guest host, Alec.
Hey, welcome back. Or I'm welcome back.
We're really happy to have Alec back with us today because today we are going to be covering Spy Family Part 2 of Season 1, and he was here with us on the first half, so it just works out greatly that way.
Yes, welcome back.
Glad to be here.
Every episode of Anime Lounge Podcast is brought to you by The Anime Show. Please go find them on Facebook and Instagram. They show a lot of amazing anime content. Be up to date on anything anime related. And before we go a little bit further into any kind of conversations, let's get our adult beverages of choice in the mix. Today, I will be drinking some New Riff Single Barrel. And I got I almost said New Glares. A Leinenkugel Summer Shandy to wash that back. What about you, Alec? What are you drinking?
I am drinking some nice Washington Woodinville bourbon, pot stilled, and I'm also chasing that down with Leinenkugel Summer Shandy.
Yeah, what do you think of that, by the way?
The Washington is good. I've only had a few pot stilled bourbons, but honestly, I'm a fan of them. So I know there's a lot of discrepancy out there in the bourbon world, but me personally, I like pot stilled.
Hey, as long as it tastes good, I'm not going to complain. Like, that's all I really care about. But I'm also not a connoisseur or a snob when it comes to what I'm drinking. If it tastes good, I'm going to drink it.
Agreed.
I think I have to get that one to try next.
Yeah, it's definitely good. You do need to try it.
What about you, Matt? What do you got?
I am drinking the Super Select Journeyman's Distillery Featherbone. That's one that was distilled by the first female distiller in the United States. Still have some left, so just kind of enjoying it. Nice to throw in the mix every so often. It's really good, so it's been a minute since I've had it. And then, of course, got a Leinenkugels, because Lantz was nice enough to bring us a 12-pack that we're probably going to kill before the night's over.
Oh, yeah. Well, we started this before we recorded, and this 12-pack's not going to last much longer. I wanted to drink this more specifically because I listened to our last episode of Part 1, and we were drinking Summer Shandy then, and I'm like, fuck, gotta get it now. Right now, it is springtime, and Summer Shandy is starting to sprinkle some of its summer shininess, whatever, into our lives. And for being a seasonal beer, this is definitely amongst my top favorite.
Oh, yeah, you can't go wrong.
No, you really can't. It's so good. I would 100% drink this year-round if I could. And apparently, it kind of seems like as long as you're in the Wisconsin area, it seems to be something you can do, because I was able to buy it all winter.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, stores are definitely stocking up on it. You can definitely find it.
I noticed that too when you said seasonal, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure you can buy this wherever. I've never seen it not in stock.
It's supposed to be seasonal, but
I think it just got so popular that they're like, you know what? Why make this seasonal? Just make it all year round.
Year round is the best season.
All seasons. So, yeah, it's loving Summer Shandy and can't get enough of it. So, yeah, it's
just ain't good. So, Matt, let's just dive a little bit more into this. Can you throw us a synopsis of what Spy Family is going on?
Yes, I can definitely do that. For our listeners, remember this is Cour 2, and so this is going to be the second half of Season 1, so episodes 13 through 25. And we will continue following the Forger family, who consists of Lloyd, who is the spy, Yor the assassin, and Anya the telepath. And of course, they still don't know, except for Anya, what each other do, which I still find hilarious. But as the Cold War continues between the East and the West, Lloyd is on his special mission, Operation Strix, attempting to bring peace between the two countries. To do this, he has enrolled Anya in Eden College so that he can get closer to the Desmond family, who is the main threat of restarting this war. But in this half of the season, we see a lot more of Anya's life at school and at home. In her school, Anya is supposed to earn 8 Stella stars to become an Imperial Scholar, allowing...
Or an Imperial Scooter.
Yes.
Yes, scooter. That's a much better way to say it.
Sorry.
Allowing for Lloyd to quote-unquote randomly encounter the Desmonds. The only problem with that is Anya has given up on studying and doing well in sports, allowing for her to get these 8 Stella Stars. In turn, she has decided she would rather earn the Desmond son's friendship, who is Damien for anybody who doesn't remember, as a way to enter into the affairs of the Desmond family. We get to learn a little more about Yor's childhood and see her grow as a new mother. We also follow Lloyd on various missions to learn a little bit about his spy life and how he's growing as a father. This is a story of a very diverse and ironically odd coupling of unique individuals come together to save the world. Thank you for that synopsis, Lance. It was very well written.
Thank you. I'm a little surprised you carried on with the oddly coupling of unique characters. Like, I knew those are some weird words thrown in there, but I'm...
No, it's 100% true. It's a very odd family if you want to look at it from the outside in, where you're just like, all right, well, yours, she can't cook. All she really has for her as a quote unquote housewife is she cleans.
Oh, yeah, that's what part 1 of season 1 was really good about. She was good at cleaning.
Yep. And honestly, that kind of throws some doubt in herself throughout the season. It's like, hey, what am I good for if all I really do is clean? I make my husband be in the toilet for an entire day because my breakfast was so terrible.
I think it was wrong that Lloyd let her think that was the reason. Right? Like, he was like, yeah, your cooking does suck. It's like, dude, you chose to be away.
I mean, for a reason. It's not like he could be like, well, actually, my stomach was okay, but then I ran across town for the entire day. My bad.
Right. But I mean, this anime does a good job of like saying one thing, but then like the actions behind the actual reason mean completely something different. So like, yes, Lloyd is doing these things because he's doing them for the mission, and his excuses are excuses, but his excuses are also like totally discrediting Yor's confidence in her cooking. So,
well, let's be honest, her cooking is terrible.
Yeah, it's still terrible on
unless
face.
You're Yuri.
Even for Yuri, he's legitimately throwing everything up and eating it at the same time. Like, he's got to have something missing, because how can you throw everything up and be like, this is delicious. This is so good. Love this.
He's turning blue.
Oh man, what did he say? I'm turning blue with excitement or something like that.
I don't remember something like that.
Ultimate denial. I loved it.
Yes, he has a very bad obsession with his sister, and it was so funny just how terrible her cooking was.
I would like to say I'm glad that Spy Family took a weird sister obsession and the way that they're taking it now and not making it like sexually creepy.
Yes.
So like they're
far more humorous.
Yeah, this is funny, and the sister obsession is just comical. So it's not creepy. I mean, we as adults can see it as bits and pieces are creepy, but it's more comical. So
I'm having a lot of fun. But there is something we have to do before we really get into this. Lance, can you give us that Lance's lesson?
Today's Lance's lessons is going to be the Japanese word for dog, and that is inu. Inu is spelled I-N-U, and this is a very relevant word for today's episode because in this half of season 1, we get introduced to Bond, the family dog. Such a good boy.
Mr. Doggy.
Mr. Doggy, yeah, exactly.
And Bond also has another ability. How many more abilities can we get in this family?
Oh, yeah. Everybody has something special about them in this family. So Bond's special ability is he can see into the future. How far into the future and how frequent is yet to be determined, but we can still see bits and pieces of future that Anya can tap into.
Because of her awesome ability, which is, I'd say that's good writing, because it makes use of her telepathy beyond just cheating.
Right.
That she does terribly at.
Right. So
I love the combination between her and Bond. And
brilliant combination.
Mind reading a dog who can read the future. I think that's brilliant. I mean, how do you even think of these kind of things? I love it. I think the dynamic works very well with the entire show.
100%.
Yeah, it's such good writing. It really is.
I got one thing before we start diving into any anime talk.
Okay.
I remember I listened to our last episode.
Yep.
Before this episode, so that I can kind of like parry off of everything. We talked in the last episode about like what we expect out of season 2. We didn't understand the concept of cour 1, cour 2 kind of thing. So we now understand what cour means, but for our audience, what a cour in anime means is essentially part 1, part 2. When we watch stuff in anime as they come out per season, like the fall season, the winter season, whatever, things typically come out in sets of 12/13 episodes. So those are going to be cours. So cour 1, or the first part of Spy Family, came out last fall, I think. Mm-hmm. And now cour 2, part 2 of Spy Family came out winter.
Yep.
So yeah. So cours just mean parts. They're just halves. And that's because when everything gets released, they come out in sets of 12 or 13.
But a season can also only be 12 episodes.
Yes, there could be a slight differentiation.
Not every season has multiple cours, but sometimes they do.
Right.
So just keep that in mind as well when you're looking, especially not really an issue anymore, but like buying box sets. If you're going to buy a box set, you're like, oh, I need season 1. It's like, well, season 1 is 12 episodes. So that is season 1.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, and especially when it's all completely out in its entirety and you're not watching it new and fresh and like you have a little bit of doubt in your mind or something. So little bits and pieces about being up in the anime community, which you could find and be updated with at the anime show.
Yes.
So go find some information there.
Shameless plug.
I do have a question before we really get into it.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Whose cooking do you think is worse between Yor and Shion from Slime?
Oh, that's interesting. Ooh, okay. Oh, with recency biased, I think I might want to say Yor right now.
Okay.
I remember Slime was pretty terrible.
Can we also throw in like Meliodas from Seven Deadly Sins?
Nope, just the two.
Just those two? Okay.
Oh, it's been a longer minute since I've seen anything from Deadly Sins. But yeah, I'm going to go with recency bias. Right now I have to say Yor.
Everything she feeds dies in the very next scene. And they're always on the ground. I love it. Just like oh, look, Bond's eating up some cookie scraps. Dead on the ground.
Yeah, I love that little
And they always do like the death chime kind of thing.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh, poor Yor. She couldn't boil water, but she did get one meal down, which I absolutely loved. I think that was episode like 16 or 17, where she finally learns how to cook from her friends, and she makes that one meal from her childhood. I thought that was really cool because like shows, you know what?
Southern stew.
Yes, she can make her one Southern stew, and it's great.
Yep.
Good for her.
She can make a liquid-based something and put a bunch of stuff in it. She can do a good job.
Yes.
I do love how they made more comedy into that, where she was chopping stuff up and she chops the cutting board into chunks too.
Loved that. That was
no suspicions were raised.
Yeah, exactly. Like, of course, Blondie got all upset about it, which was added to the funniness. But of course, we know her strength and her absurdity about weapons.
Knives.
Knives specifically, but she also called the potato
peeler. What kind of weapons are these? They're not weapons, it's a potato peeler.
And of course, she couldn't use the potato peeler. She kept cutting herself. But when she used the knife, she could go 100 miles an hour, no problems.
Paper thin potato peelings.
Stop cutting them so small. Don't cut them like a normal
person. Yeah.
That was a really good cooking montage episode. I love how everything like came out like absolute wreck, like just obscene looking foods. Like you're seeing like a squid come out of this meatball and you're like, what was going on here?
Yeah, right.
You just said buy groceries, so I bought a little bit of everything.
The cactus got me. Dude, you had variety.
Maybe in the right thing. I don't know if you guys ever had like any kind of cactus fruit, but like the inside of a cactus is pretty good. Cactus candy.
Well, not in a soup.
Maybe not in a soup. No.
No.
Maybe something sweeter.
I don't think I've ever eaten a cacti.
I've never eaten one raw, but I've had... like,
you've had it with something?
I've had cactus-flavored candy and drinks.
I wonder if Yor could dish up some cacti meals for all of us to try one day. That'd be cool.
It does have weapons, so you know.
It does. It is a weaponized food.
It might be our favorite food. We need to find this out.
Maybe. Well, Matt, what do you think is going to be a worse cook, Yor or Shion?
I'm only gonna go with Shion because she would cook like fish heads and
all
the worst parts of all these meals. And when you have Rimuru, who really can eat anything, he's like, "Hey guys, why don't you eat this instead?" And So it's Shion, but Yor is definitely a close second. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, they cheated where they made Shion the master. I don't remember exactly what her special skill was, but it was like, it's going to look like absolute death, but it tastes good.
It's going to taste amazing. Okay, that sounds familiar. Man, it's been a minute since I've seen Slime.
Yes.
Can't wait for the next series of shit to come out this year.
Well, I can't wait for the movie.
Right?
Which is out, but we unfortunately did not watch it in theaters.
No, but we'll get around to it. Speaking of movie, Spy Family has a movie coming out.
It does.
In October, yes.
So we'll definitely be getting that one in under the belt.
Actually, that'll be right before the Classicon event, too.
Oh, yeah. Classicon going, northern event, because Classicon goes into a couple different places. We will be attending the northern event in Wisconsin at the Wisconsin Dells. So that'll be exciting. We'll definitely...
That'll be a fun time.
Sprinkle that in here and there for you.
And we're going to cosplay that, make it even better.
Yes, we will.
Which that'll be a surprise.
Yep.
I want to say that's a surprise. It'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, it's good.
One thing I did want to bring in here, kind of speaking of Yor, is we really didn't get that much action out of her in this realm. This cour.
What are you talking about? She destroyed that tennis ball.
I was just about to say, okay, you had two instances of her going badass. She did fight off those terrorists. Yep. And she did a great job.
Yeah, I would say
then
three.
The tennis. She was
when she was hopping around trying to give Anya her gym clothes.
Oh, I'd say 4 then.
You got an additional one.
I would not count that. First of all.
I'm just saying sprinkles. These are just sprinkles of Yor.
You never got any. You didn't get to see any assassination.
And that's
missions.
That's all I wanted. I thought that was going to be the final episode.
Just one would have satisfied me. So I was really upset that there wasn't a single assassination.
Well, you sort of got one when she's imagining Anya talking, like doing her her project, and she's like, "Oh, you can just assassinate somebody by doing this or stabbing their heart," and you're just like,
"Stab him in its bleep, and you can bleep, and
poor Anya's just sitting there like, "I don't want to be here. I'm going to do that instead."
Just an utter terror in her eyes, like, oh my god, what is going on right now?
Right, so that was the best Yor assassination thing that we could pull from the second half of the season.
That was hilarious, though.
It was very funny, and I'm very happy that they threw that in. But Alec, yes, I was 100% expecting a small arc of Anya, of Yor doing some kind of assassination mission.
I wanted to see her get closer to Lloyd's mission because I thought that's where it was going.
That's where we all thought.
Season 1, I thought that eventually they were going to get a conflicting mission that kind of goes against each other, and we didn't get any closer to that in this arc. And sure, that leaves a lot of room for season 2, but I wanted to see something for this, I will say.
And I think I could give a little bit of an excuse on why. Because Anya needs 6 or 8 months in order to get all of these 8 Stella stars. She needs to get these stars faster than the Desmond's first son did in his year and a half. So from what I remember from our first conversation in our last episode. Yeah. Anyway, we need to make 8 months of time expand. So this first season really only covers a very short amount of time. But we did I suppose, what are we in? We're not halfway through the semester. We're a quarter through the semester.
They said midterms.
They have the midterms.
Okay. So we're halfway through the year, which is about 4-ish months.
It's 4-ish months of school.
Yeah.
So we're a good chunk into it, but we've already know that Anya's not going for Stella stars.
Yeah, these stars are no longer part of, which is kind of ironic because that's the way they made us think that this is all going to work out to begin with.
Especially getting that one Stella star, and they're like, nah, we're just not going to go for this.
They spoiled us with one. I'm like, oh, okay, well now that she's just going to get them left and right.
Well, it evened out because she got the, what is it, the
Tenacious Bolt?
No, because that's Tenacious D.
No. Yeah, sorry.
Tenacious Bolt?
Tenacious?
Tenacious? No.
Crap.
Quick Google search. Tonitrus.
Okay.
Tonitrus.
Is there a meaning of this word? Tonitrus?
Quick Google search. Tonitrus means thunder.
Okay, that makes sense then.
Okay, that's different.
You get a thunderbolt. Okay.
Right. Pikachu all around this place.
Thunder, an artificially produced imitation of thunder, a
very fitting
contrivance for producing such a sound, a noise resembling thunder. So maybe more along the lines of noise, but still about the thunder itself.
And this is why everybody needs to watch anime, because there's so much stuff you can learn from this in everyday life.
Yeah, look at that. We're all learning. Tenitris means thunder. Okay.
All right,
it's Latin. Here we go. It means it's Latin for thunder.
Oh, cool. But see, look at this.
Yeah.
Our minds are being enlightened right now.
We're learning Japanese and Latin. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Doesn't get any better than that.
Give us a 5-star rating.
Are we attending Eden College right now? That's what I want to know.
Well, I'm wearing my black and gold uniform. I don't know about you guys.
Oh, that's right.
Well, I'm in college. Does that count?
Your mom's in college.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Why did we start talking about Tenitris bolts and
So-
stars? Oh,
I was going to say they gave Anya a Tenitris bolt, so they had to give her an Imperial star because it's a wash. Look, you did good things and you've done some bad things, so it's okay. It's,
And she didn't get any bolts for the midterms, so that was a huge success on Anya's part.
right.
Well, she wasn't going to get them anyways because Lloyd was going to cheat. But yeah, he didn't have to.
Yeah, that's true.
He didn't even have to. He was on his... Which we meet a new spy, Daybreak.
Daybreak. That's
We
what
can
it
talk
was.
about him.
That's funny because I was trying to talk to somebody about this at work. He's like, "Yeah, how's the rest of Spy Family?" I'm like, "Well, you meet this one spy." I'm like, it's supposed to be the opposite of Twilight. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, right. Twilight. When I think of Twilight, I think of like a star sparkling or something like that. I don't think of Daybreak.
Well,
I don't know
because
you guys.
he talks about it. That day eliminates the stars, so that was his theory, which is a terrible thought process. But
He was a great spy.
Maybe it made more sense in Japanese than
A+
in English.
spy.
I don't know.
Do you think we will see more of Daybreak in season 2?
well, he did cost 3 months allowance from that kid.
He did. So he is a capable spy to get hired. Will he continuously get hired is what I want to know.
No, because I'm pretty sure he got. No, he didn't get caught
he-
because he got the phone call saying he didn't
He got
succeed.
fired.
Yeah, he got fired.
But like, if you're hired per job, I mean, like getting fired means nothing then.
No. It just means that the Gloomans will never go back to him.
Right. He
At least
doesn't
not
have
the kid.
He doesn't have a future customer.
Well, it was the butler that hired
it was
him.
the child. The child made
The
the
child's
butler.
butler rented this guy.
So now the butler's going to tell all his butler friends, don't hire this guy.
Oh, definitely. He's going to be blacklisted for sure.
All the butlers are part of a community.
They got a wiki for each other.
I want to see more of him because I thought he was an absolute absurd character. He was great.
definitely absurd.
To the point where like Lloyd or Twilight's just yelling at him, "You're being a terrible spy."
Yeah, exactly.
I loved it.
I did love the first part where he's camouflaging himself on the pole.
The pole, yeah.
How did they not see him?
It's such knowledge of the human anatomy.
Lloyd's using all these super specific, extra awesome terms to like try to convince himself that he's being really smart about all this spy shit, and he's just getting by with just dumb
Skin
luck.
of his teeth kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Writing notes on his hands.
Yeah.
Did he mean to do that, or is this a new strategy? But he kind of also assumes the same about Yor as well. Like when they have that like date to kind of go over like, hey, like you are my wife, and I do plan on
the bar?
keeping you. Yeah. And then she kicks him in the face when he like tries to like marry her for real, and he's like, did she get me in the honeymoon spot so that she could get me in the honeymoon spot so I would be off my game? Is she another spy? No, that can't be true. Like,
Right.
He talks himself up about things so often. I love it.
He overanalyzes so much about the stupidest things, and then it ultimately like fails. Because the same thing happens when it comes to Fiona Frost.
Oh, yeah.
Every time that she wanted to make a move, or every time that she was deeply in love with him, and like she was just like staring at him because she loved him, and he thought that she was staring at him because she was mad at him for teaching her something that she didn't want to learn or something.
She had that frosty expression.
Yeah. So like,
But really on the inside, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
so Lloyd keeps overanalyzing wrongly.
Well, he did train her, so of course she's gonna do the same thing.
Right, but it's just funny because I like how they give us his thought process.
Yes.
And then we see everything happen in reverse. So, and even when Anya's there, because like everything, we can hear it through her, and then everything's just wrong as we watch it.
I love Anya's inner voice when she's mind reading someone. Like, oh, there's a Papa, such a wonderful spy. Like, she really gets all serious and intense about things when she's so small. I think it's hilarious. Yeah, the humor of the show.
Whenever she's animating somebody else, like the Desmond, Damien, when Damien's always this stupid puppet little thing that's popping around in the background, and I'm gonna show you my dog, and we're gonna be best friends, and we'll make world peace. And
her thought process is great.
What's your dog's name? Doggy.
You don't even deserve to have a dog. He did try to have a good conversation with her, and she just blew it. Oh, poor Anya.
This show is absolutely hilarious. It's very wholesome, which I really enjoy, because I binged watched this in 4 days. So
it did not take long.
I watched it twice. I liked it so much.
Yep. When I watched this show as the dub came out first, I remember me and Matt watched this. We watched it, and then we were also working out together one day, and we were watching it even more. And then rewatched it now for this recording, and I did my casual re-listen too. So, and every single time, I'm just so hooked into it.
Oh yeah,
this show is just so fantastic.
It's just, it pulls you in. There's no boring parts. You're either seeing action or you're laughing your ass off. It's just one of the two things, and it's great.
Yeah, and most of this series, the slice of life concept of this is just none of that matters, but at the same time, you're still fleshing out character stuff, and maybe it means nothing, but at the same time, you're connecting with this character every single episode, and every single episode is fun, and you don't want to miss anything.
Yeah, the tennis match episode.
That was I thought that was the closest they were going to get to those typical anime tournaments kind of thing, but going all the way through the competition, and then the final battle between Frost and what was her name? Nightfall?
Nightfall, yep.
Yeah, Nightfall and Yor, which went amazing. Just a total Kamehameha blast from Yor. And
it's going as fast as the speed of sound.
It's breaking the sound. Oh, fuck, what did I say? What did they say more specifically? But yeah, but it's breaking the sound barrier.
Yeah.
And the first one she hits, she basically cheese grates it, the tennis ball just goes directly through. I was like, damn, all right, Yor, let's kick it.
I need to put just a little less strength into it, and then you get it to go Mach 3.
Yeah.
It's coming right at me. I should move. No, I can't move. I need to hit this to prove herself, essentially. And it's you had time to move.
Well, it was a lot like Lloyd, where she was like, we're doing tennis bat. He's like, why tennis? Oh, have you not been practicing? Well, I dabble a little bit. And he turns out to be the best player.
That's really nice, though, that because he did say I dabbled, and then Fiona's like, you've given a brand new meaning to the phrase dabble.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty clever.
It's beyond Olympic level.
Yeah.
You can ace professional tennis players barely trying, and you just dabbled.
Just a little bit of dabbling.
He's an impressive man.
Just a master of everything. That's why he's the best spy. Come on. He can just dabble in tennis and be the best tennis player ever.
Okay, so much like Core 1 with the dodgeball scene with Buffalo Bill or whatever.
Well, Bill Watkins, I think?
Yes, Bill Watkins. The
Bill, 30-year... You even remember his last name?
Yeah.
The 30-year-old in the 6-year-old school. Because it wasn't a 6-year-old body, just 6-year-old school.
He even had a 30-year-old voice.
Yeah.
Yes, they did such a good job.
Okay, so much like the dodgeball scene in part 1, part 2...
Dodgeball Bill, yes.
We have the tennis scene. So let's just break down this whole tennis scene.
Yes.
First of all, we need to explain the purpose, and the purpose is for Lloyd and Fiona to infiltrate this black market gambling deal that deals with betting on tennis, all so that the winner can get a treasure.
Yeah, they can get anything from the catalog from... I don't remember what
super rich guy.
Yeah, this basically the guy who hosts.
Who's on the opposing side of the war.
Yeah, he's in the East, so he's just
Right, and they're doing this so that they can get a specific painting because the painting itself has a code.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're going through all this fun bullshit.
And that was the easiest way to get this painting.
Supposedly, yeah. Yeah, supposedly. So, okay, so now we're getting all this fun tennis matches. We go into a tournament style deal, and we got Lloyd and Fiona, who give themselves fake names.
As the phonies.
As the phonies.
Love that.
Super ironic.
Yes.
And,
no one would suspect a thing.
And we go up against 3 separate teams, which is really funny.
Well, we watched 3 separate teams. They did do a lot of matches because remember they do that little montage where they're like, "Oh yeah," and
another win from
well,
Mr. Phony.
To say we watched 3 matches is a little bit of an overstretch too, because those muscular guys, we don't get to watch any of that.
Yeah, they just do
2
their
serves.
Essentially, yeah, Fiona just bullets them in the body, and then
with all those muscles, they couldn't, stop themselves from getting hit. Apparently, so
It took me the second watch through to realize who those guys were, because the first time I watched it, I thought there was random big steroided up dudes walking down. But then the next time I watched it through, you see them like sitting on the bench, like shaking, like we're about to take this experimental drug. Shit.
Yeah, they're shooting each other up in the locker room.
They're shooting themselves up, and you do find out that they were drug users, so that's why they're so willing.
Oh, they were prior to
Gotcha.
Okay, I didn't know about that part.
It's a manga thing where the guy who talks about the experimental drugs, he's like, "Oh, we just picked up some drug users to shoot themselves up with this drug." It's like, oh, that makes slightly more sense that you
That'll
just
make
get
them great at tennis.
Okay, but to put the realisticness into this, like shooting yourself up enough just doesn't like multiply your muscle mass. Like we're pulling in some Resident Evil bullshit here, where you just start fucking exploding and multiplying your own.
You
body
mean
mass.
you don't get traps the size of babies?
Yeah, those muscles were like balls on like those muscles.
Their
were so
shoulder
fucking
muscles
crazy.
like extended beyond their head. Loved it.
Yeah, they turned into 100% to grow.
Yeah. I like their voices too. Like they had that like demonic voice behind.
It was like
their
that
regular
robotic
voice.
demonic thing. Yeah.
I really liked that.
But anyway, as you were saying,
Okay, so yeah, we watched 3. Obviously, you go through a whole tournament shit of matches, but we get to watch 3 of them. The very first one being these retired dudes who just live in the mountains and play tennis.
Yeah.
Which I also find funny that Fiona went to the mountains to train.
That was exactly.
Yeah, afterwards.
they have to pull the old anime trope of like go and train in the mountains by yourself and get yourself stronger. Which was, I don't know if you guys caught this, but it was like a 5-second post credit scene.
Yes,
where she's in the mountains just training.
Yes, so I did see that.
I missed that my first 2 times watching.
Yep, I was about to say, I didn't figure out about those after credit scenes until the end of the second time I was watching through. I just happened to not press next, and I was like, wait a minute, was this for all of now? I have to rewatch it a 3rd time because now there's a whole bunch of extra scenes that I didn't see.
Oh no, that one more specifically, on my 3rd watch my 3rd listen is when I found out that was a post credit scene because it was so fucking short, so I missed it. So it was interesting, but it literally, audience, it's just her training in the forest where she's like swinging something heavy.
She's swinging a boulder on a tennis racket.
Yeah, she's swinging something super fucking heavy so that her serve is more powerful. That's all she's doing. It's like
so she can get her revenge on your.
Yeah. So that was funny. Okay, so yeah, match 1 was the 2 old dudes, the retired pros.
Yes,
they beat him. Super cool.
Easily.
I don't know if you guys, there was really nothing to talk about that.
Nope.
Match 2 was the super muscular guys. That one lasted 10 seconds. All we saw in that was that Fiona bulleted all of her serves at the people's body, at their bodies, and I don't know, they didn't concuss. Whatever. They
lost.
Really didn't win. And then the final match was the son and daughter of the leader of all of this black market shit.
Yes.
So,
and all of their various cheat moves.
Yeah, and lots of cheat moves were coming in, like super advanced weapons,
rackets,
equipment. Yeah, the rackets.
Well, all equipment, shooting up of steroids.
Everything was legal.
Everything was legal. Yes.
In this event itself, yeah. But also prior to this match, Fiona and Lloyd were introduced to this gas. So it made them
paralyzing gas.
So it made them less activity-full. I don't know.
Well, they had to play off that they were affected by it.
Right.
Yes.
Because they held their breath. They noticed it, and they held their breath for it. Because I think Fiona noticed. She's like, wait, my hands are shaking. There's
tingling.
gas in the room. And I was like,
wow.
It
was tingling. That's what threw it off.
Right. I mean, in the first half, of the match, they were slightly affected by the gas, but it did wear off, and they were able to play at their best.
And dodge the snipers and
right
pitfalls within the arena itself.
Yeah,
Racket
all
bullets
the
back
bullshit.
at the sun.
Yeah, no, I had bad milk. Can you see that? He is playing through an upset stomach. What a man.
Yeah,
I just had too much to drink last night.
Yeah, well, back on Alex thing with the bad milk thing. So Lloyd was hitting the ball back, but at the same time reflecting one of the rubber bullets back at the sun to make him hit him in his belly or whatever. So like he did a 2-for-1 combo thing there, and I thought that was good writing. I thought that was really fun.
Oh yeah, that was badass.
Yeah, it was funny because he got the point and he took out the sun.
The same move.
In a counter move. It was so nice.
Yes. And then them making jokes how, is this some drunken style from the East?
Yeah, no, I really liked the whole competition factor of it. And they did, in the end, they didn't really get any actual, wasn't the code to find a diary of all of his, like the actresses that he supported monetarily, of course, not creepily.
Yes.
And,
well, that's what it turned into. They didn't know what it was going to be. They just knew it was going to be something important.
Correct. And yeah, he got the headshots and he only kept the, what was it? The collectible ones, I think is what he had said. Yeah. So it was
totally not a perv.
Which just, the women actors are so much better. I think that's what he said. Something along those lines.
He would take his wife to the show and she caught on. This lady just beating his ass.
Yeah, so to save his relationship with his wife, he had to secretly store all of these secret collectibles.
And then the whole reason why there was any thought behind any secrecy was because he made the other diplomats swear to secrecy of going to these events.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why they thought there was something up about him.
Yes.
And if anything were to be revealed, that would be the ground shaking shit, and the ground shaking shit was really just his relationship with his wife.
It was all domestic.
And then, of course, you've got this whole time where you can see that Lloyd's actually getting, you can assume Lloyd's actually getting feelings for his family. So it kind of makes it even more meaningful because it's like, how far would you go to save something, to save your family?
Yeah, especially if you know that it's fake from the start.
Well, that's in Lloyd's case, yes.
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking for.
Well, I was talking, it's kind of both, where it's like the diplomat goes and keeps everything in secret.
Okay.
But then, you've got Lloyd where it's like, yeah, even though this is a fake family, you can assume that he's starting to truly get feelings for this family. And that's kind of a big theme I think you could see throughout the second core, is that he's actually truly getting feelings for Yor and Anya.
I 100% agree. And I want to elaborate on this a little bit more, but first, let's take a quick break.
Need a little more spandex in your life? Tune into RangerCast, the first podcast devoted to Power Rangers and other Japanese superheroes. After 10 years adrift in a space dumpster, we are back with news, reviews, and special guests. Teleport to rangercast.net or summon us from your favorite podcast app. RangerCast is the most more phenomenal podcast on the web.
And welcome back from our break. So we are going to be talking about Lloyd and his, I want to say, multi-conversational talk about how he's slightly getting a little bit more softer. So he's been... Okay, so not to make this sound too weird, but it's like there was 2 separate times that he's been talked about where he is getting softer as a spy or as a fake father kind of thing.
Okay.
So I started thinking, is there going to be a time in the near future where his softness as a family man or a father or whatever goes too far and something happens to the family itself, whether they get like kidnapped or something bad happens, because because he let his guard down as a spy. Like he's in dad mode and he's not in spy mode. So do you think that's going to come and bite him in the butt someday?
I've been thinking about that, and I think there's definitely going to be a situation, whether that happens in season 2 or potentially season 3, if that becomes the thing. I think there's definitely going to be a point where he has to make a decision to choose to save his family or proceed with the mission. And personally, I think he's going to side with his family. I think he's going to
100%
in that moment say, oh, well, this is for the length of Operation Strix. I don't know how long this is going to be, so let me save the family first. But I think deep down, I think he really cares about Yor and Anya and is going to want to stay with them for an extended period of time.
So I think he is going to find out about Yor. I think
really
100%.
I think that's what it's going to come down to, where he has to choose between kind of giving Yor up or hiding what she is.
Okay, so you think he's going to find out about her before she finds out about him?
Yes.
And then he's going to have to play this, he's going to have to put on this fake face in front of her to be the husband, but at the same time, he's also going to be doubling as...
Well, you have to remember, she's an assassin, and she is assassinating, I would assume she's assassinating people from both the East and the West.
Uh-huh.
So he, as a spy, can't allow for that to happen.
He also knows that her brother is in the secret police.
Yes.
So he already is on edge and making sure that he doesn't mess up about anything in front of Yor.
Damn, Matt, this is good.
No, the Washington bourbon? Yeah.
That is so good.
It is really good. So
Sorry, that's taken back.
Pot still is either you love it or you hate it, and I like it.
It's so good. I like it a lot. Okay, sorry.
But like what Alec was saying, where it's, all right, so if Yor is an assassin, he already knows that Yuri is a part of the secret police, but does that mean Yuri knows that she's an assassin? So then he has to go down this avenue, and I think he is going to pick his family over basically giving Yor up to whatever side he decides to give her up to.
Okay, and I can throw two thoughts into that one. Like one real thought, but like it branches off into two. Like I can see in the anime, his first initial emotional reaction is going to be to save his family.
Yep.
Because he actually cares for them.
Yep.
And then after the whole situation resolves, he's going to be like, okay, I saved them. But I saved them because if I save my family, it helps the mission. Like he's going to like stupidly convince himself that saving the family saves the mission. But like in actuality, we all saw that he did it out of emotion, not because of the mission.
Yeah, he's going to give
I
himself
definitely
an out.
Right.
Because it's the quote-unquote mission, not for any other reason.
Right.
I'll
So
fully agree.
Yep.
like,
don't
if
think
we were just to follow
Yes.
Matt's line of logic or just this nice, fun trail of thought, that's the way I can see that one playing out.
I will say, I would be mad if we don't have a happy ending.
Oh my god, if this ends in a... No, this is too upbeat. This is too...
I don't think there's
this
any
is-
possibility
This is
of
too
that.
family friendly to end in a downbeat. Like,
It's so humorous. It's got to
So-
end polite. It's got to end good.
So I'm basically saying the mission has to be successful, and Lloyd, Anya, and Yor have to stay together.
exactly.
Like, that has to be the happy ending, or I'm going to be mad.
I will be mad
Do you
too.
think they ever find out about each other? Do you think they find out about Anya's ability?
I think they find everything out.
You think everything gets revealed?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have a little time scale thing going on.
Okay.
I think either midway through season 2 or at the end of season 2, Lloyd and Yor find out about each other.
Okay, I
And
could definitely
then-
agree with that.
That's all I can say about that. And then as we get into season 3, I think this is only going to be a 3-season kind of thing. So when we get into season 3, halfway through season 3, Anya has to admit her telepathic abilities.
Okay.
And Lloyd uses that to his advantage in order to bring peace. And then that's how peace comes. Because, I don't know, that's all I can say is I know Anya has to admit Lloyd uses it to his advantage at some point. I don't know if that's going to be season 2 or 3. But I know that that tiny little combination has to work.
I feel that for a place for Anya to admit that she has these powers would also have to be the same position that Anya would have to be in to sell out Bond as well and reveal that both her
right.
and Bond have this power, and that was the only way she was able to know something.
Right? If Anya gets sold out, Bond is sold out. Yeah.
Definitely. I think that's going to happen in tandem.
And then the final conclusion has to be everybody working together.
Yes,
that's
of
obvious.
course.
I wonder if something happens where she was like, well, Bond told me. And it's like, well, how the hell did Bond tell you? And then it's like, oh, well, Bond could see the future and I can read his mind. And she might just be like, oh, well, I can only read his mind. And then eventually it might come out where it's like, actually, I can read everybody's mind.
Unless it's on a full moon or a new moon.
Ooh,
new moon
Yeah, it's
takes
the new
it away.
moon. It's the new moon.
New moon? Like,
Yes.
new-
It's
the
the
new moon-
opposite of everything else because she saw the full moon and got all concerned.
Like, when does this go away? Oh,
Yes.
I think it's going to happen in 2 weeks. That's the day of the test.
Not 2 weeks.
Yeah, and that's something that was so fucking overlooked in this entire second half of the series was she's going to take this big test, but on the day of that big important test, she can't read other people's minds. Okay, it's really cool that we know that you can't read you can't read minds, but like
None of that
that's
was
also
in the
super
episode.
fucking important that you can't read minds on one day of the month. Like we
Yes.
really need to like this is kind of like
That was integral information, I feel like.
I was gonna say this is like Inuyasha kind of shit. Like one day you just lose your demon abilities and you're a fucking useless human. Mm-hmm. Like this is very important, and you're just nonchalantly just like, oh okay.
Oh yeah, this happens. I think they did that on purpose. I think they want you to kind of have it in the back of your mind, kind of thing.
right.
Yeah, where they make it seem like it's not important when in all actuality it's super important.
It's gonna come up again. It has to.
Exactly. Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Oh, Jinx, I owe you nothing.
I do have a question though. Has your favorite character changed between Core 1 and Core 2?
Mine has not.
Okay.
Mine,
Do you want to remind our listeners
Yep.
of what your favorite character was?
Anya.
Okay.
Core 1, Core 2. Anya it hasn't changed at all. She's just so goddamn funny.
Yes.
She's adorably fucking funny.
Yes.
I love it.
I think mine was Lloyd, and I'm gonna stick with. I think it's still Lloyd.
Yep. Yours was Lloyd.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
You're still continuing with them because you like the spy.
I love the spy.
What about you, Matt?
I went with Yor in
did?
season 1 only for the sake of being different. I'm gonna stay with Yor because you do see a lot of character development in her.
Yep.
You see a lot of growth. It took her getting super drunk to finally admit her feelings, but she kind of admitted her feelings.
Also, very annoyingly, like instantly drunk. Like I know why you complained about it in the last.
Well, I'm just gonna
episode,
say
but
she drank an entire bottle of wine and an entire bottle of scotch.
Well, no,
almost,
that
but
was
still.
like a cocktail. Like she
Oh,
had
yeah,
a
she
cherry
downed-
in it. So
she
she downed a cocktail, and then she downed a whole bottle of scotch.
So
If you
I'm
drink
not-
that, you're gonna die.
We can't say a whole bottle, but basically. Too much whiskey and her mixed drink, but then it was like 5 seconds later and she's drunk, and like that's not how chemistry works. But let's just anime
we'll just-
logic.
Drinks. Yo, me a soda now.
oh, now we're even, so we're good. Okay.
All right, I'll just owe you a beer. How about that?
Yeah, deal. Cheers, mate.
Kanpai.
Kanpai.
I will say, I didn't read too much into it. It was just too funny, especially because, that brought up number 4 where you get to see Assassin Yor, where she knocks Lloyd out with one kick,
Yep. I
Yeah.
was happy to see that.
which also brings up my favorite part. That was probably one of the funniest moments in the entire season because he's like, man, what's happening right now? And then he wakes up, he's like, it's been since, oh man, like the academy when the last time I got knocked
back
out.
in his training days.
Yeah, that's what it was.
That was the last time he got knocked out.
Which goes to show how strong Yor is. Like, she is a very strong female character, and I love it.
Yes, she's a great mom to Anya, which we find out. So she's such a good character, and yes, she has her flaws where she can't use a potato peeler somehow. It's okay. And, we all have doubts about certain things. And it's good to see, even in a series like this, where it's kind of happy-go-lucky, she can bring those serious moments without it being too serious. Mm-hmm. So I will stick with Yor, but
She was still lacking.
yes, Anya was amazing in this core.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, they definitely made sure that Anya got...
Full focus.
Yeah, exactly.
Because let's be honest, if it's not for her, the mission is useless.
Yep.
It's not happening.
Exactly. Otherwise, Lloyd would have to go completely fucking psycho and I don't know, start.
If I have a thing to posit, if Yuri finds out about Yor and Lloyd and their mission, do you think he will betray the secret police for the sake of his sister, or will he work against them? Will he become an antagonist?
I can see him forsaking his job and helping his sister.
Okay.
I will say, while yes, it's a good theory, I don't think it'll ever happen.
Oh,
You don't think that's going to be a part of the story?
I don't think
at all?
it'll ever happen because Lloyd is too good of a spy and Yuri is too single-minded on his sister to pay attention to anything beyond his sister.
One step further, I think that Yuri's going to find out about Lloyd, but he'll never know the truth about Yor.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay, because
I
I
think-
know he doesn't know about her being an assassin.
Right. So as of now, he doesn't know, and I'm just saying he'll never find out. And even if there's hints dropped, he'll just be oblivious to it.
I could see that, just being blind to it, yeah, and misinterpreting things. Yeah, okay, I could see it.
Like, he could probably catch Yor assassinating someone and be like, hey, sis, what are you doing here?
And she'll have a bag of tomatoes in her
I thought that was a head. I thought it was a head.
Dude, yeah, for real. When red liquid's dripping onto the floor, like, dude, she's fucking carrying a heart or something.
Nope, tomatoes.
Nope, just tomatoes.
They're just
She's
fucking
cooking
broken ass
montage.
tomatoes. Like, how stupid can you be?
Well, it is Yor, so we're just...
Cooking
can't-
is not her forte.
We can't think too deeply about that one.
One other character that we need to be talking about, I only say need to because I really like him as like a pretty close to secondary favorite, is Frankie.
Okay.
Frankie, like, not to compare him to Bond the dog, but Frankie's such a good boy. He's like that nerdy little us, like, in spy world. Like,
Yeah.
he's fucking living his life, having so much fun doing all this spy shit, and then like
Striking out with women.
he's getting these love interests, and like,
Poor Monica will never have Frankie.
no,
Or Frankie will never have Monica.
I mean,
No.
have it either way. I mean,
Yeah.
Frankie, you know, in his own respects, can be quite the catch. But at the same time,
He's a smart dude.
He's a smart dude. I think the biggest thing that I liked about him in this second half of the season 1 was when he was babysitting Anya. And, like, he's getting super mad about, like, you can't just fucking call me here and expect me to babysit your daughter and throw me fucking stacks of cash. But at the same time, he's having so much fucking fun just playing pretend with her. And
Oh, he
just-
loves it.
Oh, he's having so much fun. And I thought that was fucking adorable.
Yeah, he's loving that uncle role. And then he's like, well, here's $10,000. Okay, well, Anya, let's go have some fun.
You can't keep throwing money at me every time you have a problem, but I will take it.
I will take it, and I will continue playing and having fun. Exactly. So that it was. I like. There's so much like positive and negative things going on, and like they're just like fucking playing on each other. So it's really funny.
Frankie is great. I will agree with you. He is a character that deserves more attention.
Yeah.
He thinks very highly of himself. Like, I can tell that he thinks that he's like the brains behind the entire organization. Like, yeah, he can't physically do anything that Lloyd does, but I feel like he thinks he has far more importance in the plan than he really actually does, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, he's essentially just an equipment guy who might be able to be handy in breaking down codes.
Well, he's their informational guy.
Yeah. So like he's literally just a side guy, but at the same time, like he's still a fucking human.
I did find it hilarious when when Lloyd was helping Frankie, like, with all the scenarios, and he's like, well, you have these 800 questions, and then you have these 8,000 responses to these questions.
The algorithm.
And you have to memorize this entire script.
And he looks, he's like, I can't do this.
Yeah, exactly.
And Lloyd probably memorized it within 30 seconds.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
oh yeah, you just follow this flow chart and you'll be golden. It's easy. Come on. Everybody does
Easy
it.
game.
Lloyd's perfect. He's like, I don't understand why this is difficult. And Lloyd, and then
Out of touch with reality.
he's like, no, dude, this is impossible.
Yeah, seriously. Because, I mean, you have Lloyd, who's a psychiatrist, and he's never actually done this before, and everybody's like, he's the smartest person in the hospital. It's like, what?
Which was
Lloyd
nice
can do anything.
It was
He's a
nice to
Renaissance
see
man.
that Lloyd had a stupid social life within his fake ass world.
Yeah,
Because-
all of them, all the doctors and stuff.
Dude's working A full-time job as a psychiatrist, a full-time job as a spy, and a full-time job as a father.
Oh, and spying on the school at the same time.
Right? Like, well, I mean, he's using excuses as, like, going to house calls and stuff like that. Like, money's clearly not an issue because he's getting paid, I'm sure he's getting paid finally through the spy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anytime away he does from his job, which, by the way, if he's getting paid for psychiatry, is his wage, is he, like, just lying about his hours so that it would appear to be
he's a salary guy.
Salary? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's definitely a salary
I think
position.
it says something about, because it's not like it is here in America. It's different.
That's true too, but I'm sure it's also just a salary position. It's like it's not like a clock in, clock out kind of thing.
But it's also probably, I mean, not to get too in the weeds, but that's actually probably something that gets sent back to the spy organization to help pay for his expenses.
Yeah, well, so I guarantee you the organization forges everything, and he might work, we'll just say like here, 80 hours every week or every 2 weeks. So nobody questions anything. It's like, oh yeah, I worked 40 hours this week. Actually, I worked like 60 hours this week because I was doing these things. And it's like, well, here's my paperwork. It's like, oh yeah, you're right. That paperwork's legit. And here you go.
Well, what's her name? Fiona Frost. Yeah. She works for the psychiatry building as well. Like they have multiple infiltrators in the whole system.
Yeah, so they can forge anything and everything they need to.
The forgers can forge anything?
Yeah, good point.
Well, they are a bunch of phonies.
Yeah, the phonies. The forgers and the phonies.
Damn, keep
I love this show. This is great. This is actually one of my favorite animes. This is gonna be in my rewatch list for sure. Just as one of this timeless animes.
Your casual throw on just for the fun of it.
Like, I remember this show. I had a lot of fun watching it. Definitely putting it back on.
Yeah, I remember this show. I remember having a good time with it.
Well, I mean, there's so many animes on my rewatch list, and it's just nice to know that this is now joined the crew.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I want to change my answer for my favorite moment. It's Anya reading the career thing about Lloyd.
Oh, about her whole presentation about how it is. Like,
Anya's presentation.
It started out so like
a spy
natural
feelings doctor.
A spy special feelings doctor.
A psychiatrist.
Psychiatrist, there it is.
Which is like a feelings doctor. Then, at the end, it's like sometimes he punches and kicks people.
The concussive therapy. Yeah. Oh, that was great. She mentioned that, and it would have been fun to see that again, the concussive therapy. I think they need to like re-envelop things from earlier this season just to keep things relevant. Mm-hmm. Again, with like the pistol with the silencer, with Anya being so obsessed about that. I think they need to throw that back in there.
I will say in the manga, you do see Lloyd punching that dude when Yor is talking about it. So you see like a flashback of Yor thinking about when Lloyd punches the dude for concussive therapy.
Wait, was it a flashback? Or
yes,
was
it was a flashback.
Oh, a flashback. Okay.
Yeah.
So in the anime, clearly did not do a flashback.
But
it would have been funnier if there was like something relevant,
like a thought bubble happening, and you just see that.
Well, not just a thought bubble, but like Lloyd doing it like today or yesterday kind of thing. Like he did it again, taking out a criminal.
Yep.
But you're caught on to it, like, oh, that was just another. Customer of mine, and I needed to take care of him. Whatever.
Yep. Yeah, that was. So I will say that was my favorite moment. Just the whole reading of Lloyd's job.
He handles his patients meticulously with acidity.
And he gives them candy, and it's like bribes. What?
Is candy another word for bribes? All the students are listening in like, this story doesn't make any sense. What is his job?
And then you've got who's the teacher?
Henderson.
Yes, he's
Henry Henderson.
It's like, that sounds very much like Lloyd. And then he's got the long face like, oh my God, what is this person?
Perhaps I've underestimated him.
And then, of course, Lloyd is having to come back a couple days later to explain himself, and he can just do it just fine, no problems.
Mm-hmm.
He's so casual.
Yeah, it brought up points of concern with the teachers. Oh, that's great.
Do you guys have a favorite moment, episode, whatever, since I already said mine?
Ooh.
Alec?
Yes. So my favorite point in this show, hold on. There's a couple. I need to.
Apparently, I already had 2, so there's...
My favorite ones.
If you want to go through yours really quick, I have a couple I need to sort through that I need to figure out which one was my favorite, because there were multiple in this season that I was like, yes.
So if I'm going to choose anything that I would consider my favorite for this second half is going to be anything that would be comical. And
that's a lot.
I know. And on my notes, I have smiley faces on a bunch of stuff. So
I liked the whole season. It's just I liked every episode.
Yeah, let me just be boring. No. Okay, so let me just say, let me just explain myself through all of my laughy faces on my notes. Number 1, quote, Papa takes a whole lot of time on the crapper. Right away, episode 13. Fucking hilarious. Another one in episode 15, quote, if you don't let me have him, then I'll turn bad and stop going to school. I thought that was pretty fun. Okay, that was about, that was Anya being the bitch about, like, if you don't let me have this dog, then I'm going to stop going to school. I thought that was funny. Right after, Anya can't talk about terrorists or the police will lock her up and not come back. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yes.
That was Lloyd making a threat to her. So I thought that was funny. Next would be at like episode 20. Anya needs to shadow parent her job. Yor ignores assassination. Smiley face. That's because the whole assassination scene was kind of funny. Censoring. Okay, and then my last one. Let me claim... Okay, I just named 4 other things, so let me just talk about this last one. This last one was more of an adorable thing. This was the post. This was like a 10-minute thing, but it was also a post-credit scene, so it was really stupid. It was a post-credit real episode kind of thing. In episode 21, when Bond ripped up the penguin, that moment when Anya was like, I'm sorry I said I hate you, I didn't mean it, and it was super fucking sad. I felt that so hard. Oh. And, like, whoever the voice actor for that is does such a good job for Anya being, like, a sincerely sad and sorry person. And then, at the same time, Anya's in a fucking onesie, so it's fucking adorable to begin with. And it's like, this whole fucking scene is just adorable and hilarious. So, that's one of my favorite scenes. I don't know if that was in the direction we're going. I was just going with all of these.
It was a slice of life. And it was... that spoke to you. That's awesome.
I got a lot of emoji. When I write my notes, I write like faces, and
I think it's hilarious.
So yeah, so those scenes made a big deal to me.
So I guess going into my favorite one would probably have to be in, I think it was episode 19 or episode 20, where they do the revenge against Desmond's family and the Gloomans. I think Gloomans.
Episode 19 is with George and the Gloomans.
Yeah, so and he does all of this work to try to discredit Desmond, Damien Desmond, and just get him removed from the school. And then it turns out that everything's fine, that the Desmonds actually purchased the Gloomans company.
Yep.
And then he still has to go to school all the next day. They're all like, you better give us our stuff back. I'm like, that is the most like kid thing in the world to hear, because like any adult is like, oh yeah, that's just written off. I'll never get that back. But kids, they are determined to get their things back. Yep. They're like, yeah, you're going to give me that folder back. You're going to give me that book back. I found it so much humor. There's so much realism in this anime that I love. I absolutely love the demographics between all the different kids. It's just so perfect.
One thing that I don't know whether I would have liked it or if I would have loved it, but if Anya would have like walked up to him super fucking pissed off and be like, I want my leaf back. I'm like, I don't know if that would have been
Here's
funny.
A leaf I found.
Like, she would have had to have those super big ass eyes that took up like 3/4 of her face, and like she would have had to been super serious. But like, depending on how they shot that scene, like if she were to ask for her stupid fucking leaf back, I can find that being pretty funny.
I found this leaf on the ground and I thought of you.
Yeah, exactly. That's where it started. So
Love it.
I can see that being a stupid scene. I mean, they clearly had to have thought of it, but it was probably a throwaway.
I can see it.
Yep.
I have one little nitpick to bring back okay, so like I said, I listened to our last episode that we recorded.
Okay.
And Matt, when we were talking about episode 12, where the penguin came into play, you were talking about how that wasn't necessarily canon.
No, it was an extra mission. So it was a part of the story, but it wasn't like the main part of the story.
Right.
Like it was still in the manga, but it was just, they called it a 0.5 chapter instead of being like chapter 12. Stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
It's essentially like an extra mission. It's like kind of like an OVA or a side mission kind of thing.
Okay, so
Penguin?
Just to rewind
The
a little.
stuffed animal?
Yeah, the stuffed animal. Okay, so just to rewind a little bit, episode 11 of season 1 was true story, and they ended the episode on bringing the camera focus in on the dog. Mm-hmm. That was super cool. And then episode 12 was just Flutter.
Penguin Park, yeah.
It had nothing to do with that dog that we saw in the previous episode. It was the Forager family going to a zoo, and they had the penguin scene. Mm-hmm. And we're like, okay, well, we literally just saw a fucking dog last episode. Why aren't we seeing anything about this dog? And I'm like, okay, well, this must be a fucking throwaway episode. And at the end of the episode, Anya got that penguin because Lloyd guessed all of the names of the penguins.
Yep.
Okay, so she got that big fucking penguin. Now, in our last recording, Matt was saying that was essentially all OVA / non-canon. And now I want to reverse that, bring that all back into play, because that same stupid penguin comes back into play on another post-credit scene where Mr. Penguin gets ripped up by Bond because they're watching that show, and Penguin gets shot, and Anya feels all sad that Penguin died in her cartoon, so she wants to sleep with Penguin, and Bond's like, fuck you, why are you cuddling with him when you should be cuddling with me? And he rips up Penguin. Penguin gets all fucked up, which kind of prompted me to say, like, Penguin's making a very obvious scene here. Like, is this considered canon kind of deals here? Because here's the Penguin again making another scene. I know it's considered post-credit scene. It's just for fun. Like, I just wanted to get your guys' minds.
I think that was just to start the next episode, because in the next episode it starts with... Yeah, well, I know, but the next one starts with her, like, oh no, he messed up my bear, and messed up my penguin.
That was all post-credit. It was a post-credit scene, and it had nothing to do with anything else. It was just for fun.
I don't know.
Franken Penguin it was his own little scene. It has nothing to do with the storyline itself, but here we are on Cour 2. Penguin is here.
Here they are. Yes.
Penguin is here. So I just want to say, as far as canon goes, it's questionable that it's post-credit scene, because that is questionable in itself. But 2, Matt, is that manga?
Yeah, it's all
relatable?
in the manga. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all. I mean, that's all I'm gonna ask for now. So
I take it more of just kind of extras. Like, it's just added. It's not in the main story, but it's still a part of the story.
Right. Well, that's the hard part about this whole show, is like, this is a slice of life kind of thing.
Yep.
And they very, very lightly dab into like the real story of this show. It's more slice of life than it is real story.
I would agree with that.
So, like, when we talk about canon, it's really hard to differentiate, like, if it matters or not, because slice of life really doesn't fucking matter.
Well, I mean, it's a
post-credits really matter to the integrity of the show, though?
Technically, yes.
Because I only watched like 3 of them, and they definitely help with the next episode, but I wouldn't say that they're integral to the episode.
Even if we talk about other anime in general, like, post-credit scenes are very important. Whether they are foreshadowing for the next episode, or if they're just brand new information in general, and that information is important to expand on the next episode. And if you didn't watch the post-credit scene, then you don't have no idea what's going on. Like, the stupid stuff like that, it can go in so many directions. Yep. But yes, post-credit scenes should be taken as canon.
Okay, I didn't watch any of them until like the very end of the second time I watched through, and then that's when I realized they were there in the first place.
Right. I mean, there's only like
so I don't
3 or
even
4 of them.
honestly I
Yeah,
don't
it's-
even know what you're talking about, so I don't know. I
to be
started
completely
the
honest,
next
it's not a big
episode.
deal.
Okay,
No, it's honestly not. I just wanted to see if there was.
Yeah, all the post-credit
strict
scenes
difference.
were in the manga.
Okay. I just wanted to see if there was a strict difference in like.
no, if they're in the manga, then at that point, like, yes, I think you should be watching them at that point.
Yeah.
Yes, but it, like I said, it doesn't add anything to the main story. So if you miss it, you're not missing anything.
It's just an extra gag. That's
Yes.
all it really is. It's just for an extra fun laugh,
Yes.
if anything.
True, but I still want to see them.
As far just as far
Well,
as
you're going to
Spy Family.
rewatch them.
Yep,
so.
I'm going to rewatch them anyways. It's all good. I'll
Well,
see
you're
them.
just gonna have to convince your wife to be like, "Hey, this is
I have told her, if you're gonna watch any anime, this will be the one to watch because it has a little bit of everything in there that you're gonna like.
Oh, and if it makes any much of a difference, be like, hey, Lance convinced your sister Missy to watch this too, so like now you guys
True.
can bond on this.
You know what? If they watch it together, they'll have something more to talk about, and they talk to each other every single day, so it could be something that they could do.
And then thus another way to broaden anime into the world.
Exactly. That's all we need. I will say I did get my wife to start watching this.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
We're like halfway through season 1.
All right.
Or part 1.
I like to assume she thinks it's cute and acceptable.
Yes.
I think this is I think this is going to join in with the gateway animes of just an anime that anybody could watch and enjoy. I'd be very hard
Anybody,
pressed
yes.
to not like this.
I can say I can see people finding Anya kind of annoying because she's
Depending on how old
because
they
she's
are.
because she's a child.
If we're talking about some kind of boomer watching this and like, I don't like how that fucking child's eyes pop.
well, it also could be where it's like a teenager where they
Yes, it's going to be both sides of the spectrum. The
Yeah.
super old and the super young are not going to understand this show. But I think anyone within their 20s and 30s definitely can watch this.
Well, I will say like if
We have that 150-year-old listener who's following us like, I like this show.
You absolutely can like this show. We're not going to take that from
we're
you.
not generalizing, not at all. It's just it's going to be both ends of the spectrum where if you don't like it, you're not going to like it because of Anya. And I mean, I get it. I can't say that I dislike the show, but I can understand why somebody might think that she's annoying.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. No, that can't be argued. I think if you're not going to like the show, it's going to be because of her
Yes.
her weird facial expressions towards things or her attitude towards things. Like, sure, I can posit that.
I don't agree with you, but
Yeah.
If this comedy doesn't slap for you, then this isn't for you.
And we're probably not going to be friends.
you know, we just can't be friends. So
I give this a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. Like, I would definitely watch this and recommend this to anybody.
Oh, if we're going to do rating talk, just out of nowhere, I would give this a 9 out of 10. Mm-hmm. I don't know exactly why I would justify why this wouldn't be a 10 out of 10, but like, it's hard to justify a perfect anime.
it's not perfect.
It's not.
Because nothing is perfect. But like at the same time, like right now, I'd have to think about why I would demerit anything.
It doesn't have episodes where it's just 20 minutes of zooming in on people's faces like Dragon Ball Z, which is what I'm used to.
No, I don't want that. I don't want those fillers.
Did you miss Lance's conversation where he said he can't watch Dragon Ball Z through the nostalgia glasses, so he doesn't actually? And not that you don't like Dragon Ball Z, but it's okay. It's okay.
I rate everything back to Dragon Ball Z.
I do love Dragon Ball Z. I do love the nostalgia of really honestly playing the video games and learning the story through there originally. Mm-hmm. But fuck, dude, tighten some shit up. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just being facetious.
I don't need 20 minutes or 20 episodes of 5 minutes.
Of a spirit bomb gathering?
Yes.
No.
I think that's what this show is
like,
missing.
dude, obviously, not obviously, but honestly, every single fucking episode of Dragon Ball Z can probably be condensed into 3 to 5 minutes of actual content.
And then 20 minutes of recapping.
Yeah.
Yo, you can't forget the recap. You don't know what's about to
If
happen.
you want to watch Dragon Ball Z, watch the first 3 minutes of every episode so that you can get the recap of the last episode. Like, you're not missing anything. You can save so much time on the recap.
That's what I love about new school anime, though, is that there's no recaps because it just assumes that you've already binged this through.
Yeah, because they're also more in line of what people want, and we're not worried about people's facial features for 5 seconds at a time.
Well, it's also, you don't have to go months without watching the next episode because the network decided they didn't want to play the next episode and they wanted to restart it.
Yeah, now we just have fucking apps, and that's where everybody understands that that's where they get their anime.
Well, apparently Toonami is still a thing, so...
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Technically, yeah.
That just made my whole world.
Not only that, but like in Japan, there is television that do release things on time. But I'm just saying,
I will say
for the general public,
that's the one difference between childhood and like adulthood. Is like as a child, I had to wait for the next episode to come out. Yep. Whereas like as an adult, I can choose to watch. Like right now, I'm choosing to not watch.
Time, bro.
Demon Slayer. I'm gonna wait until it's all out, and then I'm gonna watch all of it all at once. And I didn't have that choice when I was a teenager because I had to watch the next episode as it appears every single time.
And you could have started it mid fucking season without knowing anything of the past. You just had to fucking accept where they are and just grow from that moment.
And there was no rewatching an episode. It's just, if it comes on a rerun, that's cool.
Hope they restart it like Bleach.
Fucking half a year later, maybe they'll restart the season. But good luck watching live TV.
Oh, and anime has come leaps and bounds, and I absolutely love it. I love the growth of it, and I love the public acceptance of it. Now you'll see people wearing clothing of animes everywhere you go, backpacks, and it's just inner me is just ecstatic about it. I'm like, yes, people are no longer being bullied for this. They're accepting it, and they're wearing it out in public. This is amazing. I love it.
Well, they're still probably getting bullied for half the same reason, which is Naruto running.
We can always go into Naruto.
I got a real good buddy at my work who
he runs places?
No. He knows that I watch anime in my corner at work, and he knows I do all my anime stuff. And like one day I'm sitting there watching my anime, and I look up at him, and then we make eye contact, and he's like. And then he does the anime running pose where his arms are like the Sonic pose, the Sonic / Naruto pose where he's running and his arms are flailing behind him. Yep. He's doing that to make fun of me, but like in good faith. So like it's really funny.
You're just jesting each other.
Yeah, it's great.
So it's fun being
the anime community has finally made a positive comeback, and I am freaking ecstatic about it.
Yeah, we're just little like 20 years too late. At this moment.
Doesn't matter. Does not even matter. We are 20 years on time. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm not complaining because I'd never stopped liking anime, so it's okay.
Yeah, right. Like when me and Matt were in high school, middle school, whatever, like we had our clique, and the outside of our clique didn't fucking influence us at all.
No.
One, because me and Matt worked out all the fucking time, so like we didn't have to worry physically about bullies or anything like that. Like, well, fucking step up. We like anime, so what?
You got the power of God and anime on your side.
Well, I'd say minus God, but like
it's a meme. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say like, I mean, we didn't do any of that, but like we liked what we liked.
Yes,
that's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, it also helped we didn't Naruto run places, so
yeah, we did.
You can avoid a lot of bullying by not doing that activity.
We were able to be. Oh man, no, not going to go down that alley. So yes, it was. I am glad the anime world has been more accepted. Everywhere you go, you can see anime stuff, whether it be at Hot Topic or just
in general.
Yeah, just in general.
I was just at the Green Bay Mall, and there's like 4 stores dedicated to like anime figurines, and they're all different from each other. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah. You can go to Target, you can go to Walmart, and you can find that stuff, which back in the day, you'd be like, oh, look, there's 3 things at Hot Topic, and that's it. So it's...
Yeah, Hot Topic used to be pure bands. Now it's half bands, half anime.
Yeah, no, it's made leaps and bounds in this world, and I think this is a very, very positive thing because it's an area that I feel like, you know, a lot of us, for the most part, you know, all through our teenage years, our, you know, young adulthood, we kind of hid this fact from, you know, the majority of the world.
Yeah.
And
all us nerds are the ones that are behind all of this social media shit, and now we're the ones that are taking over.
yeah, you know, how the turntables have turned.
Yeah, there we go. An Office reference.
Yes. I didn't like The Office. I'm just saying.
Oh,
I was sure.
son.
Neither did I, so don't worry, you're not alone.
You don't like The Office, and yet
My
here you
roommates watched it every second of every day. If I hear that intro again, I will smash a TV.
Oh, I fucking love The Office.
It's not a bad show. I'm not against the show. I'm against the intro. If I hear that da-da-da-da-da one more time, I'm going to blow someone's brains out.
Okay, real quick. You want to? Okay. When me and my wife first started dating, we had such busy fucking lives. I was in school working. I was busy as fuck. She had like 2 or 3 jobs. She was busy as fuck. But
They're still busy as fuck, by the way.
Oh yeah, we are still busy as fuck. But we would still try to like date, have times together, and whatever. And our time together, most of the time when we first started dating, was I would go over to her apartment and we would cuddle on her little couch. And we would watch The Office. Ooh. Okay? Good time. I was having a good time because this was funny. But this was her time to take a nap.
Oh, of course.
So she would be sleeping away. I didn't give a shit. I was cuddling with a cute girl watching TV. And then an episode would end. A new episode would start. And that theme song, as soon as that theme song kicked in, boom, Emily was fucking awake. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry I fell asleep. I'm like, it's okay. We're just watching the next episode. And like, this is consistent through today. It doesn't matter if it's The Office or New Girl or Letterkenny or any of the other normal shows we throw on. It's that beginning theme song is always
wakes her up.
It's always a trigger, and it wakes her up because she's like, I'm asleep and I'm not supposed to be asleep. I'm like, I don't know. And it's like, just be asleep.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
So to me, it's very funny. The opening theme songs for those type of shows always makes me giggle because I have that little personal input.
Speaking of opening theme songs, I really did enjoy the opening and the ending for this show.
Yes.
I like the opening more than the ending, but they were cute. They did fit.
They were very catchy.
Yeah. I listened to them a couple times. Usually, I don't give a shit about them, but like I did give.
Well, every once in a while, I'd kind of be zoning out, and then it would just be going. I'd be like, oh yeah, and then just kind of listen to it. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. I do like this. It's kind of
yeah, it's totally fine.
There's a psychological study that you should always listen to the intro and outro.
You mentioned this before.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
well, the study's wrong.
No, the study is always right that you should always listen to this because it kind of like it sets your mind into like the way that you usually are when you watch the show, and it kind of like
you know what also sets my mind into it pressing play.
Ooh, so you're are you a skip the intro kind of person?
Oh yes.
No,
I don't have time to waste 6 minutes on intro and
it's like
outro.
2 minutes.
Dude,
okay.
You got a 1.5-minute intro song, and then you got if we're talking like Dragon Ball Z, then that's an extra like 20 minutes of intro.
5 minutes of episode, and then 5 minutes of closing, and then another 5 minutes of on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
30 seconds of this episode is all this. No, but for real,
I don't have time.
Skipping the intro song and skipping the intro.
Ever. No.
As long as you're watching it in succession, everything should be just fine. I mean, you're just, otherwise if you want to get what you're going to get at, if you want to get at what you're going to get at, which I think you're going to say is you're going to pre-spoil yourself.
I hate it.
Which is why...
What do you hate about
skipped.
it?
I hate the pre-spoilers.
So you hate seeing the characters that you haven't seen in the show yet?
Yes.
And
I think that's really important.
Their future abilities, their future transformations. That's why
Bleach does a lot of that.
That's fine, and I skip it all.
You skip everything.
Everything.
No.
And Even
That's blasphemy.
Brand new anime that comes out today.
Yep.
I skip the intro.
You're not going to watch the intro.
Yes.
Do not want
Have you ever noticed that it's the same band that does a lot of these intros?
Yes, I've heard that on the side.
Yeah.
That, there is a lot of common bands throughout.
It's like
anime.
four. It's like four bands that do every single anime intro.
That's smart.
That's how they get popularity. I mean, yeah, it is smart. Like in terms of like, I mean,
how do you make money?
Why not?
I'm going to be in every opening.
Yep.
Cool. Good for you.
That the royalties are amazing.
Royalties, exactly.
Yep.
That's fucking how you're going to make your money. Exactly.
I would love to be an anime intro musician. I play all these instruments. Like, sign me up. Let me do this.
I will say, like, so the one intro that I thought was going to spoil everything that spoiled basically nothing was Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh my god, that was literally
It showed you everything.
Everything and absolutely nothing at the same time.
They showed you
Like
what
ogres.
what to expect, but nothing to expect when that moment comes. Like, that was the most ridiculous intro ever.
Have you guys you've seen Attack on Titan, right? Like,
Yes.
so season 2, I think it's season 2, has this intro that has like all these dinosaurs and whales in it and stuff.
Yes, the dinosaurs.
And it has nothing to do with the entire show.
I
Well,
was
sort of, kind of, if you
so-
really deep dive into it. They talk
there
about
are no
dinosaurs.
whales dinosaurs.
But they do talk about it.
Do they?
Yes.
It might be a little bit more in the lore.
Yeah.
But it's not in the actuality of the show.
I
There are
guess.
no
But
dinosaur
yeah,
titans.
I was.
Valid.
Yeah, because I watched the fucking intro. I'm like, I don't have to wait for a fucking T-Rex to come and fuck up the Attack Titan. What's going on right now? But no,
Never happens.
Never happens.
T-Rex Titan.
It's fun.
Shrink to arms. And...
We're gonna need some kind of like or not side animation, but like a side fan story or whatever to just come and just fucking have fun with
the
this
original
shit.
Titans, dinosaurs.
Yeah, right. The OG. That's how it started. Was with the fucking lizards.
Evolution turned them into giant people instead.
Oh my god.
I could see final season part 7 going into that. Absolutely.
8,000 years in the past.
No. Final season. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm gonna say something stupid like final season, like the extra final season. Part
The extra
one.
final season.
The extra final season part 1.
I love anime. I love anime just for that reason.
I love anime. Fuck Attack on Titan right now.
I'm currently wearing Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah.
Love it.
We'll just call it final season part 2.5.
It's like Kingdom Hearts all over again. Part 2.8.
Might as well. They fucked up, clearly.
Yeah.
That's all they did.
Which I don't think that, what's it called? The one we're doing. That Spy Family is going to be doing. I don't think there's going to be 1,000 different seasons, and I'm pretty sure that all of the opening credits have to do with the show. So I don't think there's anything that we have to worry about there.
That's
but,
fine. I'm still going to skip it.
You're still going to skip it?
Still skipped.
Still gonna skip it. Yep.
It's part of the show. They spent so much money.
Well, here's the deal.
Well, that's cool.
My first run through, I'll skip it all.
Oh.
On my second run through, if the song is a little catchy, sure, I'll listen to it.
Every run through. Every single
If the
one.
song is catchy, I'm listening to it every freaking time.
Nope. Can't do it.
Spy Family did get a little catchy. Chainsaw got catchy. Got catchy enough for me to add it to
Jujutsu was catchy.
Jujutsu was catchy.
Jujutsu was very catchy.
I mean, there's plenty. There.
Yes.
Okay, we don't have to go down this kind of rabbit hole.
We've
Plenty of-
already done that once.
Yeah, we already did this one. Plenty of songs get catchy. But, like, I would like to say, my first run through is always going to be pure skip. I do not want a single ounce of spoiler. I don't want to know that someone might potentially go demon and fucking explode. I don't want that. I want to be...
Element of surprise. That's all I want.
That's all I want. I just want to be, like, wowed and be like, yo, that's why I fucking watch this show.
I don't
I like slight spoilers. Just like, keep an eye on this character.
Nope, can't do it.
Nope.
No?
I don't want expectations.
All
If
right.
I wanted expectations, I would read the manga.
Ooh, okay, that's true. That is an irrefutable point. I will fully agree with that. If you wanted to know more, you would read the manga.
I will say, if your memory is terrible, you get surprised every time, too.
That's true, too. But also, to piggyback on that, There's also going to be all of you manga readers are like, dude, this fucking scene, cannot wait for this to be animated.
Yes, I have that,
And then
all the time in Demon Slayer.
You know,
Right.
that brings me up. You know, are there any manga mentions? Are there things that happen differently in the manga than there are in the show?
Okay,
We'll get there.
let's not get that far.
Oh,
We'll get there, but we are an hour and 40 minutes into this episode.
Okay. I think the fairest thing you can ask Matt right now is, what is your favorite thing that got animated?
yes.
Oh man, favorite thing that got animated. The only reason I'm going to say it is because I didn't expect it. It was Fiona with the boulders on the... Are you talking about for Spy Family?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. It's Fiona with the boulders. It's that little snippet at the end cutscene where she has the boulders on the rackets and
Yeah.
she's swinging them. Because I didn't expect it to happen.
It's like she's basically weightlifting.
Boulders.
Well,
Like
she's doing the baseball strategy where you put the weights on the bats and you'll swing faster because of that.
Exactly.
I love it.
I did not expect it to happen, so I just found it absolutely hilarious.
That was the one post-credit scene that I did see on accident that led me to believe that every single episode had them, and it reigned true because of that. And I was like, wow, the one time I forget to press skip next scene and skip to the next episode, and I see something awesome.
That was the only post-credit scene that I had skipped on accident. Actually.
The one that I had actually seen is the one that you skipped. That's hilarious.
It's because it was like a 5-second scene. It was like I judged,
But
how
it was
much time
integral
left.
to the story.
Yeah.
I do get that.
Maybe.
There is a pretty obvious moment that you know if there's going to be a post-ending scene.
Yeah.
Is by how much time is left.
Yeah, if there's more than 1:30 left in the scene, you know that there's a post-credit scene.
See,
But
I know
one was
that
like-
now.
That was just a 5-10 second scene. So
It was like a
I just let it
3-second
go.
scene.
Yeah, I just let it go. I skipped it.
So yes, that's the only one that really stands out to me the most, because I'll be completely honest, the manga is amazing and does a very good job of animating panels. So when stuff happens, like you see like Damien's fist close in one of the panels. So it's just stuff like that. Like you see everything. So that it's so well done. And I'm so happy I'm reading it because it sticks so true to the manga and it's so good. It really is.
That's good to know.
Let's just take a quick moment and take one last quick break.
And now that we're back from our break, one thing I want to talk about is the moment with Frankie at the bar where he's like, I didn't order this. This is top shelf stuff, where he's talking about the scotch, the Macallan 18 years.
Right.
Do you guys know how expensive an 18-year bottle is?
Of
Well-
Macallan?
Yes.
Well, okay, I can start to break down a little bit personally by myself. Like
Okay.
a 12-year bottle might cost around $50.
So there is a ginormous difference between a 12-year and an 18-year.
Yeah.
Oh my
so you
God,
know.
there is a ginormous difference.
You're talking
Oh,
like
that's all-
$300.
I was gonna say, it was just like my personal experience.
Yes.
12-year, pretty basic, $50.
It's an okay scotch.
Yeah.
Like if you want just an entry level scotch, no issues.
But
Yeah,
Macallan's pretty up there.
Well, I
you-
would say a $50-$60 bottle is.
Have we tried Macallan? I don't think I've ever tried a Macallan.
We've had a Macallan 18-year or not 18.
No,
definitely not 18.
Not an
Not
18.
18.
Sorry.
I was like, where have I been on these episodes?
We
We'll
have
save
had
this for a New Year's episode. How about
Definitely.
yes. We have had a Macallan, I think 8-year, maybe 12-year. Either way,
Probably
we've had one.
that? Have we?
Macallan.
I'm
Yes.
running a blank on it.
It was like a year ago that we finished the bottle.
Okay.
So it was kind of a while ago that we drank it. It was fine. No issues with the 12-year. As far as I would say, it's good, not great. it's your typical, all right, this is what I want to drink for just, I want to have a scotch. Not, I'm celebrating anything. I want something expensive. It's just I don't want to call it a daily drink because then it sounds like you're an alcoholic.
Right.
But just your run of the mill, not expensive.
Solid.
Yeah, solid, not expensive, not cheap.
Casual.
Just a casual drink. So it was just fine. Do you want to have any guesses on what an 18-year is?
Okay. I only started my bit by saying like a 12 is like a 50, a 14 is like a 60, and then we start.
I think it's like,
and then we at that point we start exponentially going up.
Yes.
It's kind of like the difference between like a blue label and a red label, like for Johnny Walker.
Okay, Johnny Walker is a whole different conversation.
I'm just saying, like in price wise, an 18 to a 12 year is like
yes.
a blue
Okay,
label
sure,
to
sure,
a red
sure.
label.
I mean,
Not quite, but similar. Yes.
Johnny Walker is the fakest fucking whiskey. Fucking needs some work. I tell you what.
Yeah, I was very disappointed in the blue label.
I first got introduced into realistic whiskey because of Johnny Walker, and I will give them that. And when I first started whiskey, I started black, and I thought that was okay, and like double black. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I'm a man because I can take this. Yeah, this is a little bit better. I mean, obviously, red garbage, it's garbage whiskey. If you're gonna, that's mixing whiskey.
If you're gonna buy red, just don't buy something else.
No, I mean, if you have red,
just don't.
Yeah,
it needs Coke. It needs Pepsi. It needs something.
You can't drink it on its own.
No, that's garbage whiskey. Black, double black, whatever. If we're gonna start talking about sophisticated whiskey, like that's rail of the rail.
That's your like lower shelf of what a good scotch would be.
Yeah.
So Macallan is going to be way above red label Johnny Walker.
Yes.
That's what I was gonna say. Before we even talk about Macallan, let's continue with Johnny. Johnny has double black, and then they fucking jump to like blue, and they have green, and then like something like ghost, whatever. They go from fucking low tier whiskey to fucking top notch. And I don't know if you guys have listened to us in our New Year's episode like a year ago, but Matt and I tried the blue label.
Yeah, that was actually New Year's of 22.
Yep, and it was fine.
Yeah, it was okay.
Good.
Dude, it was just
not the
fine. It was good. It was good. It just wasn't fucking 200 at the
$250
because it was the New Year's time limit. I think we spent $240.
Yeah, I think it was $240 something.
And
like
we
that.
can buy like here's the curveball today.
I can find it for 200,
180. I think I saw a price level for 180. Yeah, depending on the time of the year.
Not worth it.
No. Fuck Johnny Walker.
Okay. So Macallan, have you ever had that?
Apparently Matt says yes, but I'm running a blank on it.
I'm pretty sure we've had a 12 year, because I'll be completely honest, when it comes to your typical $50-ish bottle, we've had a lot of them. We've probably had most of them.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we've definitely experimented with a lot of whiskeys.
Yes.
More specifically bourbons.
Bourbons and scotches, yes.
I mean, I would prefer to stay around the scotch idea because that's kind of the anime lounge concept.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So yeah, but I don't remember Macallan.
Anyway, that's really not the importance. It's just kind of go back to my question. Do you guys have an idea of how expensive an 18-year would be?
18 years.
Like a shot of it?
No, just
like
a bottle.
Glass? Or a bottle?
Because the only reason why I don't want to try and guess a shot is because...
Oh, it is going to differentiate.
It's going to... There's way too many variables to...
I'll put $200 then. An 18-year Macallan, $200.
Okay. What about you, Lance?
Oh my! I think I'm pretty on par with that.
So everything I've seen as far as the internet is concerned, because that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Google says around $400 to $500.
Holy
for a bottle.
For one bottle.
That's an expensive bottle. Oh my god!
Sounds like we need to start a Patreon.
So that is for the Sherry Oak one. I'm seeing around $400 to $500. This is according to Total Wine, so that's a pretty good
estimate
indicator of what the going price is between
$400 to $500.
$400 to $500.
Oh, nope.
So if you wanted to,
Dude, I love whiskey, but fucking
yeah, we don't make enough to afford a $500 bottle of whiskey. If somebody would like to donate a $500 bottle, I would not complain. I also would be asking what is wrong with you if you want to give us a $500 bottle of whiskey.
I would not ask that at all.
I would ask what would be the next five anime you want us to talk about.
That would be a personal sponsorship to us to hey, let us discuss whatever you want us to discuss.
Yeah, bro, and we will give you a personal shout out every single episode, and we will talk you up
you will be our best friends.
Yeah, absolutely,
bro.
Apparently, there's a Glenfiddich that is
Glenfiddich?
Glenfiddich.
So not Glenfiddich.
Yes, Glenfiddich.
No, it's not a it's
Yes,
my French teacher never let me read out loud because I would butcher the language.
You'd Americanize it.
Yeah.
They have a $350 bottle as well.
Oh my god, no!
I would love to taste it.
Don't dabble
say
in.
I would ever buy it.
I saw a $1,000 bottle once, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, I've seen
the shot. If you just ordered a shot, it was $100 or $200 or something. I'm like, I really want to taste it just to know why does it cost this much.
Hey,
Lance,
we can go down that alley. Didn't you order a double at an airport? And how much was that? Or something recently?
What'd you get?
I don't remember.
Oh,
okay,
not even worth it.
Sorry.
But I did. Yeah, but when I am at an airport, I like to drink clean.
There is also a Macallan 25 year for $2,600.
Shut the fuck up.
Let's do it. Let's all pull together and get this.
25. Who the fuck holds on to? What the hell?
So the thing is if you're buying a $2,600 bottle, you're not doing this to drink it.
No, that's
you're doing this to buy it, to hold on to it, to sell it for more.
That shit's an antique.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a 25
And the
year.
stupid part about this is that fucking alcohol inside that stupid fucking bottle is not getting any better as time passes by.
No.
But I
It's
bet
in the
you,
glass already.
Because
But
it's in glass. It needs to be in the barrel.
it's sat in the casket for 25 years. I bet
Yeah.
you it's delicious.
Oh,
I'm
bet.
sure it's delicious.
I couldn't afford the $300 shot that it costs to try it.
My
but-
brother just won a Pappy Van Winkle that's worth $3,000 or $3,500. I'm like, dude, when I visit you
won it?
next, he won it in the lottery, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna come over there. I'm gonna drink all of that. I'm gonna tell you exactly how it tasted.
I would take a personal fucking vacation to go taste that.
You would never be allowed in my house.
I'm like, dude, you gotta lock that under lock and key, man. I'm gonna drink it. I'm gonna come see you, and I'm gonna drink it, and it's just gonna be finalized.
Oh my god.
$3,500 for a bottle? Are you kidding me? I'm drinking that.
If I was rich enough to be a snob like that,
Yes.
I'd probably lose my fucking liver, dude. My liver would not handle my body.
He'd be Edward 40 Hands just all the time with $300 bottles of scotch.
Do you think what's his name? The information broker.
Frankie.
Frankie. Do you think Frankie can handle his 18-year Macallan?
No.
No.
Not
at
a
all.
chance. He's gonna appreciate how awesome it is,
Okay.
but he's not gonna be like, yes, I have some smoky tastes of. No,
Yeah,
he's just
Frankie-
be like, yeah, this is some good fucking shit.
Frankie is drinking oh man. Just to go off our conversation, he's drinking Johnny Walker Green.
Well,
Not
don't
green
get
label.
too far because Johnny Walker Green's fucking expensive too.
Not green. I spoke wrong.
Don't name another color because it's probably gonna be stupid expensive.
They're all stupid expensive, but there's
White.
I
is
have
stupid
to
expensive.
drink Johnny Walker Black after my grandfather.
Red.
It was his favorite.
Red is bottom of
That's
the bottom.
red?
Yes.
Red
No. He's drinking some Johnny Walker Red.
Oh, yes.
And
Bottom of the
that,
bottom.
that is his that's what I like right there because it's $4 a shot and I can drink this.
Yeah, just start pulling some Kessler, bro.
Or oh man, what is their money?
Court. Oh. It was like...
I have it written down.
Well, you took my beer, man.
This is yours?
That's mine.
Dolk.
Oh.
It's probably like some 10...
Kanpai.
It's probably some like 10 Dolk a shot. DALC. So
that's another weird part is we have
no reference of what a Dolk means. Like,
so kind of...
300 Dolk equals 100,000 yen.
Yes.
So what does 100,000 yen equal in
about
America?
$740 as of today. Which
100,000 yen is $740?
Yes, give or take.
Wow. The economy is awful.
Was that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah, they said that in an episode. Because remember when she buys the sheep thing when she goes shopping with her friend, what's her name? Becky. And he's like, wow, this thing cost 300 Dolk. That's 100,000 yen.
Yep. It's more of they say it's 100,000 yen. He doesn't think it. It's just to give a monetary value for the viewer.
Okay. Yeah. Let them know that like Dolk are expensive.
Yes.
So at that rate, it kind of sounds like one Dolk is far more superior than $1 American dollar.
Oh yes, absolutely.
About $2.50.
Yeah, it's double our dollars.
Yeah. But anyway, I know Lance, you had something you wanted to talk about. There was one more thing you wanted to bring up.
Yes.
Besides our super expensive Macallan.
One last thing that I wanted to bring up was, what do you guys expect out of the actual season 2?
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Ooh. And I'm only saying this because let me just say mine and get it out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
I can say the obvious one about York. I'm not going to talk about York.
We did talk about York already. So,
but I have an even bigger one.
Okay.
Ooh.
I want to see more children like Anya.
You want to see more mind readers?
I want to see...
more telepaths.
It doesn't necessarily mean mind readers.
But
I want
powers.
to see more special children like Anya
in
season 2.
Interesting. At least one more?
At least, at the very minimum, one more.
Okay.
We got the introduction of...
the
Bond under Project Apple for the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, we have a lot of weird shit going on. Anya is clearly not the only child that's been experimented on.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to see just another child, another rival, another
I feel like that would be season 3.
I can see that being more season 3.
I feel like season 2, it's going to be more of the friendship, but the growing friendship between Damien and Anya.
I would agree with that.
Yes. I can 100% accept that.
Okay.
And I would like to expect that the first half would be them becoming more friendshipy, and the second half being the adults finding out about each other.
Oh, Yor and Lloyd?
Yes.
Yeah, Yor and Lloyd. Yes, but still, I think it would be fun to sprinkle in an additional child or two that has maybe not
telepathy, but
powers,
something else?
But powers in general.
Okay.
Yes.
Telekinesis.
Yes.
That would be cool.
So that's all I just want to say.
Okay.
I'm going super far. I mean, we can go super.
This is what Lance really wants.
That's
not
what
what
you
he thinks
see?
what'll happen, but what he wants to happen.
We're gonna go from super chill, sitting on the couch and fucking Dragon Ball Z and just. No, I'm kidding. No, I don't want that.
Spirit Bomb. See, I think I'm going a totally different route. I want to see Anya win 2 more Stellas in season 2. I want to see her win 2 more Stellas.
Minimum
2. I don't want to see 1. I want to see 2
lives.
Stellas. I don't even want to be a life saving. I want her to figure out how to win 2 different kind of Stellas.
Matt, just smartly?
It doesn't matter. I just wanted to see her win 2 other ones that don't have to do with her saving some individual from a pool. I think that she has the ability to do other things.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know what those other things are, but I want to see 2 more Stellas earned.
She's very creative mentally. So at that rate, I'm kind of weirded out that she didn't get a stupid star for the Griffin deal.
I'm not surprised on that one.
Yeah, that was more of just
that was a throwaway, but I could see that be anime logic. Be like, oh yeah, hey, the state thought this was amazing, so here's your star.
No Stella for that.
No, they make
I can
Stellas.
see it being a thing.
So hard to get that I understand why it wasn't.
Right.
They want Stellas to be
Almost
like,
unachievable.
cream of the crop.
I would like them to be almost achievable, yeah. Like,
'Cause-
they need to be rare as fuck.
I think the only reason why Anya got a
Shiny
Stella,
Pokemon.
Yep.
1 in 5,000. Yes, I think those are the odds. Something like that.
Depends on which game you're playing.
We'll talk hard. Bad odds.
Dude, we're talking between 3,000 to 9,000, depending on items you're holding, the Pokemon you're holding.
No extra things, just hard odds. So 1 in 9,000 sounds like a good idea. And I think the only reason why Anya got a Stella for saving the kid was the fact that the kid was dying, not the fact that he fell in the pool, but because he would have died.
Yes. And she saved his life, actually.
Yes. So it's like not just barely saving somebody, somebody that's going to try to isekai themselves by getting hit by Truck Coon.
Yeah.
And pulling their arm back. And so it has to be very difficult. Alec, you want to let us know what you think for season 2?
Oh, I did say that was the whole thing about I want to see Anya get two
Yes.
stars.
Sorry. Yes, you're
So
right.
you have the finish.
I haven't answered. So I have a feeling it's going to be more of the same of what we've seen, which isn't necessarily going to be a bad thing, but I just have this idea that it's not going to be anything super drastic. We're going to see more storyline of just Lloyd doing his spy stuff. You're kind of building this family bond relationship, and Anya just kind of pursuing her friendship with Damien. I don't think it's going to be anything super crazy. I think it's potentially maybe at the end of the season, Damien and Anya are like actually becoming this pseudo friendship. I just don't see anything super crazy happening.
Do you think an invitation to Damien's house is going to happen in season 2?
I think it could potentially be the meeting of the dogs.
Okay.
Because Bond is going to play... I feel like Bond is going to play a vital part to the plot.
Okay. I can agree with that.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. I was going to say, like, the Damien connection needs to happen.
Yes.
But at the same time, like, let's envelop everybody into this shit. So, yes, the dogs need to meet.
Yes.
I like that.
Max and
like
Mr.
that
Doggy.
a lot.
Yes, Bond is going to tell the future of them being terrible friends with Max. And Anya is going to have to work at some way of Max and Bond becoming friends.
Yes.
Or something weird like that, where it's going to be that Bond is going to use his future sight and Anya is going to have to basically change the future again.
I can see that. I really like that because the dog Bond can't really explain what he sees. He just sees the future, like, oh, we're having a steak dinner tonight.
Yes.
Like, I thought that was adorable.
Yeah, I thought that was very cute.
Or like, oh, hey, we are not going to have Lloyd anymore after tonight. Like, he has very powerful, specific premonitions.
Yes, exactly, Alec. And I feel like it has to play more of a plot line. Like, you're just going to throw this, I don't want to say super important thing where the dog can tell the future and then never do anything with it again. Like, it just wouldn't make any sense. Like, why bother having the dog be able to tell the future if you're not going to do anything with it ever? Mm-hmm. Besides the, 2 episodes in the beginning of the season?
Yeah, where he was able to tell, like, when the phone was going to ring and...
When the phone was going to ring, when the bomb was going to go off.
Yeah, when the bomb was going to go. That was a really important one.
And then dinner.
Yeah, dinner, of course. Very important for a dog.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
I'm 31 years old. Dinner is important.
Oh, you must have looked in the fridge. You must have saw that we were having hamburger steaks.
Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anya was able to cover that one up really quickly.
Yes, that was an easy one. So, but I know, Lance, you had one more question, right?
Yes, I had one last question.
Okay.
So, in the first half of season 1, there was that interview before Anya got into Eden, and Anya got asked, "Would you like more, your old mother or your new mother?"
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That fucking hit all of us
Yes.
so hard in the
it's a
last
fucked up
episode.
question.
Honestly,
It was.
in the heart. in our heart. It's a fucked up question. Never gotten answered. So let's rewind, replay, redo all of this stuff. That guy in the interview who was going to, one of the only people that was going to allow Anya into the school, asked that question. Who do you like more, your old mother or your new mother?
No, that was the fucked up.
Yeah,
that was the one that wasn't going to allow it, no matter what.
No, he wanted to.
Yeah, all I'm saying is there was one of the three fucking interviewers, and they were all stupid. Anyway,
Henderson was one of those interviewers.
He was not one of them.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. Yes,
Henderson. He was the best interviewer.
Yes.
Okay, fine. There was an interviewing process.
Good catch.
Yes, if it was any more,
I saw that.
Yeah,
it was gonna go on me.
Could have spilled that.
So what's your question?
The question still kind of stands about... Actually, I don't know what the question is.
Do you think Anya misses her old mother?
It's just between the... Yeah, I don't know. It's between the difference between... Does Anya know of an older mother versus... I mean, Yor doesn't really count. Like she is the new mother. Like... We have the new great perfect mother versus a past that we don't necessarily know.
And not Fiona, who's going to be the...
And Fiona, who could be a fucking dictator. Yeah, exactly. So, like...
I don't think that there...
I think that's going to be a throwaway.
I don't think there was a previous mother, simply due to the fact that Anya couldn't even bring one up. I think she went straight to the experiments, which means that she never really had a true mother. So Yor is the closest thing to a mother that she has.
I think the emotional response Anya had was the fact that she never had a real mother to begin with.
Yeah, and like I think that's the most encompassing thing to pull in.
Okay.
But like, ooh, I burped that one out. But to be like, I don't know, she's had experiences.
Yes.
I don't know. I just want.
You think we're gonna find out the real mother at some point?
Maybe.
Oh, that would be a plot twist.
Kind of what I'm thinking at this moment now that this is kind of just in the mist. What if we get a random ass cloud of Anya being a child, walking around dealing with some kind of bullshit that she's not supposed to be in part of? I don't know.
Do you think we're going to get a flashback of her mom in the next season?
My original response might have probably said yes, but like, no.
You don't think she has any memory of a mother?
No. She's still too young. Because
she says she's 6, but I think that was a lie. I think she's actually like 4 or 5.
Right. From what we discovered in the first half of season 1, she's a 4-year-old pretending to be a 6-year-old. Mm-hmm. She's still way too young.
Yeah, definitely look at that handwriting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, illegible.
Right.
What is this?
She, like, that's the fucking crazy part. She's 4 pretending to be a 6-year-old, and like, yeah, 2-year-old.
That's a huge difference.
That's a huge difference.
Like,
in that time.
To our advanced super, because all 3 of us are super fucking advanced people.
I have a 4-year-old, and I know 6-year-olds, so
I'm just saying. I'm just saying
there's a massive difference.
I'm just saying that all 3 of us are super advancedly intelligent. So
to 4-year-olds.
But to backtrack it,
I wouldn't call any of us super intelligent.
You're missing my joke.
I ruined your joke. Say your joke.
I'm keeping this.
All right. We're way too long into this conversation.
This is probably a good moment to where we can get into some mass manga mentions.
NANI?!
Yeah, thanks. I would probably agree. I will say, as I've said earlier, the manga and anime do an amazing job portraying this entire series. It's so well done. For anybody who wants to start from Cour 2, I would suggest to start at Chapter 18. That is a good point to just kind of review the end of Cour 1 and to continue on with Cour 2. For any of our new listeners, I like to start from the beginning of the series, in this case, Cour 2, and work my way chronologically through the season. So I'm just going to kind of back us all the way up to what would be the the beginning of the series. And one of the first things is the handler actually instructs them to leak the information about the bomb dogs to the state security. It's kind of one of those things where you just kind of have to be like, all right, well, what just happened between here and there? And just assume that they got their own information or intel, and they actually got it from the West and Lloyd's group, who leaked the bomb, or the dogs being the bombs.
Wait, so they didn't know that the opposing group had the bomb dogs?
No, the Triple S did not know about the bomb dogs.
Oh, okay.
And it was Lloyd's group that leaked said information to them so that they did know.
Interesting. Okay.
It's not really a big, all that important, but you see Anya noticing that there's ketchup in the room when she's trying to figure out a way to let Lloyd or whoever is going to see the bomb know that there's a bomb inside the room. In the anime, she just kind of goes, I need to figure this out, and then continues on. Like, it goes black, and they continue
and
forward.
They find the ketchup.
Sketchy, yes. Like, in the anime, there was a just so happened to be bottle of ketchup in this.
Same thing in the manga.
Fake ass break room.
Yes.
Wait, really?
Yes.
I never noticed that.
Yeah.
No, it did. Yes, it did literally just so happen to be there.
It's the same thing in the manga.
Which is why she used it to begin with.
Yes. But the only difference is Anya actually notices the ketchup versus it just being in the room. So
she realized it earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
You find out that Lloyd's suit are stab proof, so they're basically you can't penetrate them.
The suit itself?
Yes. All his suits are meant to be
bulletproof, stab proof.
I don't know about I wouldn't say bulletproof.
It's a little bit of
stab proof, yes.
Interesting. So he's wearing a suit of armor at all times.
Yes.
Cool. That's awesome.
That very much Lloyd.
Okay, Matt, sounds like you need to step up your fucking anime game for this next
seriously.
anime convention we're going to.
Are you going to be in stab proof armor?
I wish.
I'm going to test it out.
I apparently need to make chainmail.
That's probably going to be $multi-thousand.
Yeah,
it's okay.
I don't have a company that I can just write off my expense reports to.
I'm still going to stab you and find out.
That's going to really hurt.
You just randomly show up and with a knife.
It's so great.
Green Bay crime reports, like, dude, I'm just trying to prove these guys are legit. I don't know.
His cosplay isn't real.
I would get in trouble for something like that too.
Yeah, the convention wouldn't appreciate it. Okay. Handler claims to be from the state police in order to talk to Anya about the terrorist activity. So this is when, during the bomb dog incident, that is how Anya, that is how Handler is able to talk to Anya. So basically she says that she is a part of the Triple S, the Handler does, and that the Triple S is going to take all the dogs.
Okay.
Not really super vital, but just
So she says she's from the opposing side.
Yes, in order to explain to Anya what's happening with the dogs.
Interesting. Okay. Which she ultimately lets her keep Bond, obviously.
Yes. And the moments in which Anya keeps Bond and in the manga and in the anime are the same, but it's just the Handler, when she goes to Anya and Lloyd and Yor, she says that she's a part of the state police and that she needs to investigate the dogs.
Okay.
So it's minute details that are not necessary in the anime, but it's just added stuff in the manga. So then after that, when Lloyd and Fiona are talking, they're moving their mouths and having their conversation, but what they're saying with their mouths and what they're actually saying are two different things. Like they go into it.
Yes. Okay, I'm really happy you said this right now because I don't know what the Japanese version might have done with this, but the English adaptation of this did do this very well.
Yes.
So Fiona Frost and Lloyd were talking, and sure, they may have been talking about some casual fucking you can go buy some onions at this price, blah, blah, blah. But if you were paying close attention,
You had to be paying really close attention.
and it may have sounded a little weird, but if you were paying attention to the English dub, they were talking and their mouths continued moving.
I noticed that.
Great. And that is exactly what was the
Is
secret,
what I just brought up.
was the secret movements. It was essentially
They were
I don't want to be like racially weird and be like, they were talking Japanese and they said one word and 20 fucking subtitles came up.
The mouths and the words that they said didn't line up, which happened a lot in like 90s and early 2000s anime because they paid less attention to making sure that the mouths and the dub correlated with each other.
Enter the Fist is a giant parody of that.
Yes.
Kung Pao, yeah.
So that is essentially what you could assume had happened, where it's like, oh, well, what they're saying in the dub isn't lining up with what they're saying in...
That's what I assumed.
And that's not actually what happened.
So the only thing that I can throw into this mix is that the people who watch this in Japanese may have gotten a very, very, very more mixed concept going on, because they might have thought like, hey, onions are on half sale. That means we need to go attack this guy. Like, because there's so much subtitles to read, I'm pretty sure there was 2 to 3 different lines of shit to read. I couldn't imagine.
So in the manga, they explicitly say they are mouthing what the side conversation they're having.
Do?
Yeah,
Okay.
they make it apparent.
Okay.
So then, they have their...
English made it very prevalent.
It's very hard to notice the two. You could just assume that the dub and the mouthing just didn't line up in that scene, and you wouldn't think anything of it. Then after that, so during the gassing of the phonies being in that locker room, they're actually stuck in that locker room for about 20 minutes. So it kind of adds to the point where Fiona talks about how she is good for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it adds to the point where she says that she's still feeling it a little bit because, well, she would have had to deal with that gas for an extra 10 or so minutes.
Right.
They break down how Lloyd notices that the tennis court is made up of 36 separate panels. So Lloyd noticed that the tennis court had all these separate panels that could potentially be used for cheating.
The anime does say that.
Oh, okay. Yep. So I just missed that part. You don't see all the gimmicks in the second set of the final tennis match where like the wind and the net going up and down a bunch of times. Like, you don't see all that extra stuff. They do make mention how the net does go up, but that's all they do, and saying how we need to change our trajectory of the ball.
Yep.
But as far as the just hitting it back and forth, we don't get to see that. And then the only other attempt at sabotage we see is the ball coated with stink spray. So the bullets we still see, but the wind, and then the other couple things that they talk about during that little montage. I don't want to call it a montage, but just during the little...
They mention stink spray, but it gets turned back on them.
Yeah. But you only get those two. The net moving up and the stink spray versus the couple things. I think it's wind. That might actually be the only other one.
The wind was in there. They used it against them.
Yes, but I'm saying in the
only
manga,
once,
the wind isn't in. Wind isn't a sabotage.
Oh, okay.
I just kind of wanted to bring this up. You do see the panel of Fiona working out in the mountains. You see it in the manga. You also see it in the closing credits. I had mentioned it earlier how it was probably the most memorable thing from the manga that I was happy to see animated. Then during the drunk Yor moments, she's a lot more drunk. And like, she's slurring her speech. Her words make absolutely no sense.
In the manga?
In the manga.
Wow.
You can
tell she's drunk.
You can tell she's drunk.
Yeah.
You can make out what she's saying because it's like every word starts with a D. So it's just trying to have that drunk speech versus in the anime where she just kind of like sways. Her face is really red and she's just making no real sense to what she's saying.
Mm-hmm. So we're Midwestern. We understand what she's trying to say. So the rest of the world is like, dude, you have no idea.
Sort of.
I'm just kidding.
Just it's more of a drunk talk versus a implied drunk that she really is. One thing that they do as far as the outfits for Anya is they actually go into detail of what the significance for each of the outfits are. I'll be completely honest, she's a 6-year-old wearing a bunch of outfits. Like that's really all it is.
Gotcha. So not really important to the show.
It has absolutely no significance.
Which kind of explains why we skipped this conversation in general.
Yes, there's absolutely no significance. I already brought up the price of the keychains, which is 300 dolk, and that equates to about $740.
God damn.
Jeez. Still would not spend
for a stupid fucking icon?
For a keychain. For anybody who wants to read what would be season 2, I would pick it up on book 8 and start with chapters 39.
Okay.
So we made it through 7 full books and like the first chapter of the 8th book for the first season of Spy Family.
Oh, okay. So shit is supposedly supposed to start popping off if this is the start of a new chapter.
There is currently 78 chapters out. And so we're about halfway through what is currently out.
Okay.
And they're still going.
And it's still ongoing, yes.
Jeez. All right.
I can see the show going for a while.
Fucking hell yeah. Let's go.
So
there's so much more to come.
At least a season 3 or 4.
3 to begin with.
If it stays true to the pacing that we're at, right now we're probably about another season.
Easily.
So can't wait to continue reading this.
You mean another season after season 2?
No, another season is season 2.
Okay.
Like full. Like,
yeah,
I can see another
25 chapter or another 25 episodes.
It hurts me to say, but yes, another 25 more.
Another 25 episodes would get us to where we're at as of April 28th.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that's all I got for the manga mentions. It's relatively short. They do an amazing job sticking almost verbatim, absolutely panel by panel to the manga. Mm-hmm. So can't wait to keep reading it.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the next season's concerned, I would be surprised to see Anya earn some accidental stellar stars.
I want to see Lloyd catch on that Anya is actually reading people's minds, because he said it a couple times during this second half of the season where he's like, is she reading my mind, kind of thing?
Yeah.
He's catching on, and I want to see him fully catch on to Anya.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Yeah. I think she's going to be the first one caught.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't care who gets caught first. I just want somebody to know that somebody is up to something. Mm-hmm. And that's all I want to know at the end.
Okay.
So I don't care if this is a 12-episode season or a 24-episode season next that's coming home. But that's just how it has to end. Somebody has to know something about somebody.
Yep.
And I want to see another fucking Your episode.
Yes. An assassination.
Just one more. Just give me one more assassination episode.
And that is another episode of the Anime Lounge podcast. Thank you, everyone who has made it this far. Please leave us a review. Let us know what you think of this episode. Also, make sure to check out the anime show on Facebook and Instagram. When you look at them, also hit up our Right Stuff affiliation. Help us by helping yourself get some awesome anime stuff through that link, and catch you guys on our next episode. Have a good one.
Have a good one, everyone.
Because we're at 2 1/4 hours in. So we're really long.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
We went on a 20-minute tangent on various things.
We went on various tangents.
Yes.
What was this last one?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
You brought it up. What do you mean, what is...
What? I'm the one that has to fucking edit this.
Just bring up manga mentions, and you can close out any of the other things that don't make sense.
What, these last
10 minutes, yes.
2 minutes at this point? I don't know.
No,
like
the door's longer than 2.
It's more like 5.
Okay.